Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Oathsworn, Odyssey the Dragonlords campaign here on TPK Roleplay. It has been entirely too long in my mind since we last saw one another, and I'm so glad we can sit around our fire once again. I am Turk, or Turk Accented, whichever you prefer, and I have the distinct honor of being one of but many storytellers here for this evening. With me, there are a bunch of extremely talented people, and if you would please, starting with the ever first in line comrade, go around and tell the people who you are and who you will be playing tonight.
Sure. Hey, I'm Comrade Crash. Character's name is Leo Dracos, the human paladin, Oath of the Dragonlord. Walks the path of the Vanished One. And up next is Sir Heckalot.
Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot, as per usual, tonight I'm playing Calliope, the College of Epic Poetry Siren Bard, who walks the path of the Dragon Slayer. Let's go over to HP.
Hello, I am the Last Hit Point Hero, and tonight I will be playing Thrynos, the Siren Sorcerer, who walks the path of the Demigod. Over to Tony.
Hello, I'm Tony. I'm playing Eliana the Gide, the High Elf Cleric, Prophecy Cleric, walks path of the Gifted One. Go up to Al.
Hello, folks. It's Elabitha playing Ponos, the Satyr Odyssean rogue who is walking the path of the Cursed One. And I guess I will throw back to Turk.
I know. Sadly, the goddess Kira could not fight off the forces of Sidon and Estoria to bring our wonderful Defera back to your screens tonight. We are wishing Chrissy safe and quick travel back home, and we'll be thinking of her always. Chrissy crits in the chat, Callie numbers in our hearts forever. But enough references. Let's jump right back in where we left off. There's a party going on. There's just been a fantastic little competition where I think it's fair to say Ponos just saved the entire night from being, well, not as much fun as it could have been now that everyone's pretty much about to get wasted. Kira has just begun laying into a bit of a solo string, and through the doors steps Eliana, who, if you could give us a quick breakdown of what you look like this evening. Who are you wearing?
Myself. So Eliana comes in with a long, not super long, just to the floor, white dress, a gold belt, almost like sandals, but that have decorative design going up the leg, up to about the knee. Some vambraces, a few earrings in each ear, alternating between topaz and ruby. And just her grandmother's pendant, supposedly. I have no proof if it's Granny's shit or not. So yeah.
Once I just realized I have shown the excellent art done by Severella Draws on screen of Eliana's dress for the evening. But as soon as we'll get that on screen, I'll hold it here so you all in chat can see this absolutely excellent stuff. And maybe we could get posted in the Discord as well. If you're not already part of our wonderful Discord, jump in TPK show discussions. Have some fun time memeing up with us in there. But upon entering the scene, Kira has just ripped into a solo. People are beginning to take to the dance floor. Cups are being cheered. Pythor is in a state of undress alongside Ponos. Both of them very well. Pythor's definitely drunk. Ponos at least appears to be acting the part, I would say. you are scanning the room. Remind me, everybody, where is your character currently?
I think Leo was over maybe by a fountain with the folks, entertaining them. Can I do a perception check to see if I see Eliana come in?
Of course. And you can let me know, what are you doing to entertain?
I think he's doing like little kid stuff, like, ooh, well, watch what I can do, and then like grabs a bunch of apples and tries to juggle them, just to just because he's having fun with entertaining them. And I got I got a nat 20.
So it's as you're tossing some apples around, and you kind of pull your head down, and it's obviously strange because at first you don't fully recognize her, but like, yeah, that's Eliana.
Oh yeah, but she's usually wearing her helmet and stuff, right?
Oh yeah,
And so-
she's definitely not usually wearing that.
Yeah,
If this were a
think
movie, it'd be slow motion.
I think my heart skips a beat, and then I find the library. It's like, hey guys, do you want to go see this? Well, he doesn't have a great library, but a cool library. But yeah, let me show you around, and kind of usher them away from the main dining hall.
Okay. Don't know what's going on up there, but so you just saw her didn't even lock eyes, and then left.
Exactly. I
All
think
right.
I want to keep hanging out with them just a little bit longer.
Okay. Eliana, you see Leo making his exit. Everyone
Do
else.
I see him with my parents, just like taking them away?
He's straight up stealing your parents.
Oh, sweetie.
But before you act on that, get the rest of the scan done. What's everyone else up to?
Thrynos was over by Defira, just scanning the room and taking everything in. Is how I think that was playing out. Standing there, drink in one hand, looking across, amazed yet again how Ponos managed to make that work in a very good way. Yeah. I assume that Defira and I would probably see.
If you're keeping an active
Eliana?
lookout, I asked Leo because he was interacting in a different way.
Mhm.
But if you guys are like surveying the crowd, you can be like hanging out around a bench and definitely get some eyes on.
Is that who I think that is?
You look over and Defira is just kind of drunkenly nodding. She's had the whatever they serve Pythor when they really need him out, or whatever was in that thing. She's like vibing.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Calliope, what are you up to?
Well, I'm probably in the middle of a game of 20 squares.
Middle of a game of 20 squares, you say? Well, there are rules to a game of 20 squares.
There
Did you make
are.
a bet? I mean, what's a game of 20 squares?
No,
A bet.
we didn't really focus on that, so sure.
Well, anything can be wagered in a game of 20 spaces. Or 20 squares, rather. Are you sure you didn't make anything with those? Even if it's tiny chump change.
Yeah, sure. Couple coins then.
All right. Basically, how this is going to work is there's 7 rounds. I'm going to need you to roll against me
All
in each
right.
go. I'm going to roll a flat d20. First, I need a performance check.
All right. Ooh, I'm supposedly good at those. Let's see if that actually works.
18. The first round, you lock eyes with your opponent and successfully psych them out enough to capture one of those few beginning pieces and secure that central hold. Now I'm going to need you to make an insight check.
Oh boy, I'm less good at that.
Oh, this old timer is definitely reading you like a book. Manages to perfectly predict your strategy of trying to get as many pieces out as just trying to run one piece along the board at the center, forcing you to stack your bench and causing quite a bit of a clog where you have a few rolls that come up blank or you're unable to do anything without risk.
So it's like really playing.
It's like really playing. Give me that history check now.
Oh no. No.
I'm thinking you're not as good as you said you were.
No.
Oh.
No. Chat, help.
19 versus a nat 20.
I was so close.
You turn back on old strategies, thinking back to some games you've played in the past or observed on the street. And then, this is a simple game. Anyone can play the game of 20 squares. And you think you've come up with a rather ingenious move. And just like that, you also fail to remember exactly how it's countered, which by the turn of the dice is exactly as it occurs. I need a deception check. So right now it's 1 round to 2.
This is not gonna go well.
5 versus a 13. In this pit of despair, you come up with a clever ploy, perhaps inspired by your companions. You feign weakness and look quite dejected, moving some pieces around, but manage to trick him and actually take the lead once again by a single piece. It's all tied up, 3 more to go. We're playing for majority here, so you got 2 more.
Oh
Next,
boy.
I'm gonna need an intimidation check, as this game's getting quite heated.
Okay.
Beat a 2. And that's a dirty 20. You once again, as you make that last capture, lock eyes and attempt to really stare each other down, get that feeling for your opponent just as this last key few moves are in there. It's playful, but still quite intense right now, as you need there's 2 more rounds and you need 1 to go. Get me a persuasion check.
Ooh, okay. It just takes 1. It takes 1 natural 1 is all I'm saying.
But instead of 1, you get a 25. I will say, with that, you complete. In a way, you hold back from your more aggressive play styles, allowing for him to get a few small victories and nothing to really set you off, but definitely something to, but like enough that when you beat him, he's very gracious and calls it a close match, though. I believe you both realize that you had it in the bag. And you get a few coins, so probably like 4 or 5 copper pieces. And I'd say, Elion, you could probably catch the small ruckus of players that Calliope is collecting around her. And just, not only as an Oracle's Chosen, not only as a hero of Estoria, but also doing quite well, it would seem. And there's plenty of people now approaching, well, all of you, for a dance and a drink and a little bit of both. Ponus, what are you doing now that you've got Pythor on your arm? I should ask first. Because he seems quite intent on continuing to drink and continue to offer you drinks.
Well, it's unsurprising. So once we've exchanged garments back, because I think I had his giant kind of whatever toga or bathrobe or whatever it ends up kind of being, and he has my bear skin. We will kind of gonna sort of
you did well. It was amazing.
Yep. I know. That's why you keep me around. Good.
Oh.
Good work, team. Cool. Well, this is like, man, look at us all here. This is what a raucous party should be all about. I'm not wearing any clothes. There's board games. People's parents are here. Oh, it's just living it up. If that isn't exciting, I don't know what the hell is.
Well, certainly a bit more fun than an Estorian nunnery, I'll say that. Ah!
I literally don't believe that, but it's fine. Good. Well, I'm glad we're all having a wonderful
Then we've
time.
both been to enough Estorian nunneries then. Ha ha!
Another story for another day.
Several stories in my case.
Oh my
There's a lot of room under this belt, if you know what I'm saying.
No, please go into further deep. No, actually, I've changed my mind.
Well, if you want, I can.
No.
Back in the day with.
No, why curse my wicked tongue?
And he'll
That's
start
the last
going
thing I
up.
need. No more curses.
You can make a stealth check to slip away into the crowd as he goes off into a story about how he once infamously bedded an entire convent of Estorian nuns out in the eastern countryside.
14.
Oh, yeah, no, you're out there.
Yes. About as good as it gets.
You are able to extract yourself and get through, move such a way in the crowd that it looks like you were just moved away naturally.
I get the feeling that he would still be going, I don't want to listen. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Get me some parents or board games because, man, you're going to have a wild time.
So, Eliana, where are you going first then?
I'm just kind of mingling. Not drinking.
You're mingling to the max. You cannot keep someone else's hands out of yours.
Oh,
Shaking. You have some parents embrace you. Some drunken people lean on you and demand stories out of you. Others come up and request a chance to dance with you or speak with you further. People are swarming.
And she is polite about it. That she's not, drinking tonight. Just trying to enjoy it. She doesn't dance. 2 left feet and all that.
Well, I'd say if you're trying to seek anyone out in particular, you can.
I'm just keeping an eye out for the bastard who's trying to steal my fucking parents.
Oh, he went to the library. So
Who goes
he's
to the
out
library
away
on
from
Friday?
the kind of the open air space. Imagine 2 covered areas with columns in the middle and a larger garden with water feature, all lit by candles and other things. Candles and open fires. Enough to keep that night chill off of your backs. So where to? I feel like I know, but I want you to say the words.
I'm not sure.
You can go check in with any of your party members. Or any of their party members who wants to get up and intercept Eliana or anyone else. Feel free to jump in. You're all effectively being glad-handed and drink-handed and dance-handed. But they respect you enough and you're level 4 fame. So you get the night, but you get a sense come the morning, people will be somewhat back to thinking you're special, but who hasn't saved a town before? I know. I will make something happen. I have a table here. I will make something happen if y'all.
Thrynos will make his way over to Eliana. So you made it then.
Yeah. Are you enjoying the party?
It has been quite a spectacle so far.
And she'll give you just that cursory, just almost like a leer, but not towards you. Why? What happened?
Well, you know how it goes. Need to increase the excitement level a little bit so someone, verbally spars with a drunken god. And things liven up quite a bit.
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
It went quite
I don't
well.
know if I need you to go into detail, though. I
We're
don't know if I
not
want you
running
to.
out of here with a deity hot on our heels, so that went well. I didn't think I would ever see you without that helmet on.
It's been a while, I will say.
You,
Don't dress up much anymore.
why not? Think that this is going to be all battle? You thought much
Most
of the
of it.
after?
Most of it. Just, I don't have a need. Not a need. I just don't have a feeling to want to wear it anymore. This was just a special occasion.
If things keep going well, there will be many more special occasions after this.
How's DeFera doing?
We both look over, and there's a pillar that's holding her up.
Mm-hmm. Straight as a
my-
pillar, because that's what she's leaning on.
She said she'd be fine.
Is she?
There's some servants there who are like fanning her with laurels and
It's gonna turn into a. Goddamn! What was that movie?
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes, thank you.
she seems quite content, but not in a state to engage. Or the country to engage. Honestly, probably not on the planet to engage.
So if you
as long as she's
don't think much of the after, do you just fight to fight then?
to get it over with.
Well, yes, but once it's over with, there is an after.
I don't really think about the after until it's there. There's too many possibilities.
There's a lot of could be's on the other side.
Sometimes far too many.
Well, sometimes a could be is enough to make you smile. Even for the evening. Whether it comes to pass or not. Hold on to moments like these. There'll be more of them.
It's a
And
nice
I must
thought.
say, objectively, you have brightened this party quite a bit. I'm glad you made it.
She'll give a light bow. Thank you.
Also, Leo took your parents, and I will point.
Oh, I saw, and he will be dealing with that tomorrow.
I
But
keep hearing him say, "Look what I can do."
is he trying to impress them?
I really don't know at this point.
Is it? I wonder if he has some obsession. But tonight, not going to be a spoil sport per Ponos. So, as long as he's not about to try to harm them, my parents are adults, they can make their own choice.
Well, I'm going to go find another drink and dance. Because, you're right. Like Pono said, it's spending too much time down. This is a much better look. There's great little finger foods that way.
Stuffed olives.
Stuffed olives.
And if you ask nicely, there'll be at least 3 people with palm branches, and they will feed you stuffed olives.
I'm all right with that. I can feed myself.
It's an interesting experience. Have fun. Theranos will turn, pause, and turn back. Have fun.
She'll give a genuine smile.
That Theranos missed because he turned too quickly.
Oh shit. Situational irony, everybody.
How do you have fun, Eliana?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't think I'd get this far. I don't know. I think she just really just starts chatting because again, she doesn't dance. Really, she hasn't danced in a while, and she doesn't care to. I don't know if it's more or less just like trying to entertain people with stories. Doing, I don't know if she really has any magic that's worth. Not really. I think it's less that she's necessarily having fun and more just enjoying, like genuinely enjoying the party and just in a good mood.
Well, that's a great thing to do. So, I have one last question for everybody, and then I promise I'll hurt you all again. Don't worry. The crowd is starting to move around. Larger clumps of people are dancing and swaying with our partners across the dance floor. The music continues on. Kira now leading a good section of a band in a few popular pub tunes, effectively. The game of Lake Pong has continued. You'll notice the Dragonlords from Mitros are effectively nowhere to be seen, though you can see one of them. You can see a shiny covering for the front of your, I guess, shin guard, I'm gonna call it, before I kick myself over the head for not knowing armor pieces, sticking out from one of the bushes in the garden. So I would imagine they've been properly inebriated and you have some time. With all of these worries kind of melting away, are you able to kind of separate yourself and really have fun, or are you thinking about the rest of what's going to happen? And if so, what are you really focusing on in that case? Starting with Comrade, or whoever wants to jump in first.
Yeah, I think, so we end up in the library and it's like, Eliana's not here. I thought she'd be here being like a bookworm or something. But yeah, I think in his mind, he just wants the normalcy back that he once had. And so like having surrogates, like for his parents that are long gone. He just wants to feel that at least for a night before he has to go do whatever and save some more people. But tonight, he wants to feel special.
I will say for you, Alikos and Evie will like follow into the library and look through the contents and be enjoying themselves and hanging around you, but they will, you'll get a sense they're getting a bit distant, like you can't hold their attention with juggling these scrolls for too long.
Yeah.
And they're gonna, we think we saw Eliana enter just a while ago. I think we will go find her, yeah?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Man, take care of yourself. Enjoy the party.
You too. As they walk off, I think he just quietly sits in the library alone again, like it was before.
Damn, I told you I was gonna hurt you not so soon. Okay, Calliope, how are you feeling? You're champion of the 20 squares.
I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know how much everyone in this corner has been drinking, but I think this would definitely be the part that Calliope would start drinking a little bit more heavily.
Oh yeah, no, you cannot keep that out of your, like, you will finish one and someone will come over and remix your drink as you are like putting it away. Obviously, they dilute their wines unless you want it undiluted, like a barbarian, but
No.
always water your wines down. Anyway, don't do that. That was terrible. Why'd I do that? But to my question, are you able to enjoy yourself for the evening, or are you focusing on something else? Is your mind elsewhere, even for a moment?
I mean, especially since this is like a large gathering, there's a lot of people, like she's a little bit more guarded at kind of the beginning, but after, I don't know, people don't seem like outwardly deceptive or anything, she'll kind of relax a little bit and have a good time.
I actually had another question. Looking around, the city of Estoria is somewhat of a diverse place. There's, people dropping things on top of you, apparently. No, there's a good number of elves, dwarves, humans, and some a good contingent of halflings and are hanging around. Apparently, there's a village to the south from what you've heard, and how one of them kind of has his hands under his robes that he's kind of holding around. He seems to be the man in charge down there. Very mayoral stance. It's very important. And you but you don't see a lot of sirens. How are you dealing with that, given your previous relationships to the settler races?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, she's kind of used to that. She doesn't really like it, but she's used to that. I just hear, like, part of this is being able to, like, be around the public and, like, being some of the oracles chosen. Like, she's just kind of playing the part and doing the job. Is having the best time she can of it.
So it's limited.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. Frenos, you're beginning to get back into your dance. How are you grooving?
With increased lubrication. With every passing moment, Thranos is just a little bit more into the dance.
You were pretty into the dance last I remember from last session. So
he's moved away from dancing at the wall and has moved to the center with everyone else. It's getting embarrassing.
Will you...
Not quite there yet, but it's getting there.
Will you be taking partners to dance with, or are you dancing by yourself?
Well, I assume just kind of, in the pit with everybody.
It's not quite such a mosh just yet. Need a few more centuries maybe to develop the mosh pit. But you can definitely dance on your own and enjoy the music. But getting into it, there would be plenty of people asking to dance with you if you'd even be interested.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, you can
Down
go
the
through
list.
partner and partner and partner.
Theranos fills his dance card.
Oh yeah, and you're and where's your head at? I mean, you're just kind of lost in the night.
So the mood swings of sirens can be interesting, and during all of this, there is very much a sense of this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't know if he's really enjoying it. It's like he's trying to, and all the things he's doing should be enjoyable. They're just not quite sticking. But from the outside looking in, he is saying the right things and dancing in the right way, and appears to be enjoying himself.
All right. Eliana, as you commingle, we've already touched on this a little bit, but are you thinking about the future troubles ahead, or are you able to plant yourself in the evening? Form an unbreakable line of fun. Staunch line of spears.
A variable palisade of spears. She's trying not to think about what's going on. Obviously, people asking her stories is not helping the situation. Or asking her for stories, rather. Because clearly that just leads into, what are you going to do next? But I mean, like, she'll tell jokes. They're not super great. She will just try to do what people are asking her to do aside from dance. And that's pretty much it. This kind of watches as the others do their own thing for the evening. Trying not to force herself into other people's enjoyment.
All right. Ponos, what are you up to?
Since our little engagement with, attention, I think possibly slip back a little bit and kind of just observe some of the antics that are now taking place, sort of just soak in the atmosphere and feel generally fairly satisfied with my evening's work. And then, okay, it's done. All is going well. Everyone's having a ball. I mean, Chat with Wings is dancing. Other humanoid with wings is cheering at board games. Human without wings is hitting on someone's parents in a situation I can only describe as bizarre. Tomboy elf is fancy. Yeah. And Gorgon is slumped against the floor. It seems like everyone is in their element. Whether they're happy or not is up to them. And if this is what a good time looks like, then I must be sorely mistaken. But sometimes a good party isn't made of people enjoying themselves. It's not made of good decisions, and it's sure as hell not going to be this one. But we're doing it. If this is what the people want, if this is how we must be perceived to make it easier to accept and to be the forces that they need to believe in, if this is what they need to see from us, then it's weird, And not what I would want, but here we are nonetheless. Does it matter? I guess ultimately that we enjoy ourselves at a party? Is that in the grand scheme of things? But you know, dudes can play. Like, the music is legit.
Indeed. Great, as if graced by the goddess herself. But it is exactly as you're starting to maybe relax a little bit. Why? What's going on up there, my guys? That you all hear a singular piercing scream in the night, and the music cuts to a halt. The entire party flips their heads towards the sudden exclamation and sees one woman backing away, panicked from what looks to be a fallen body. What's the move?
I think Leo rushes over.
All right. Versus rushing over, you can see her. She's just screaming herself hoarse, and before her is the wide-eyed body of another woman. Her lips slightly tinged purple, and just this look of like her face is quickly becoming more like it's lacking. It looks like she's choking, but like from some unseen hand, and the lack of movement in her body places herself completely rigid, and she stares emptily out into the open stars. Everyone else?
She looks like she's choking.
Choking or
been
had
like being
choked, because there's
poisoned.
Choked and or choking at the same time. Like the act is occurring without any marks or bruises around the neck. And definitely looks to be a lack of movement that would indicate a struggle from her at the moment.
So just for clarity, is she moving at all at the moment?
No, completely stone
All right.
solid.
Oh, okay.
Thranos would make his way over and try and gently move the screaming party goer off to the side.
She just dropped. I don't know. She just happened. And then she was there, someone did something. And you turn and do you follow her hand?
Yes, yeah. Follow where she's pointing.
You see just in time the tassels of a black robe flickering around the hallway.
I will point and say someone ran that way.
Leo heads off that way.
All right, taking off at speed. Is anyone else going?
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can help the collapsed person.
Sure thing. What are you gonna do?
First, I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration to see if it is a poison to get the fuck out of the body.
You apply magic to running a hand and expecting to feel that response, but you get nothing. For all intents and purposes, magically feels like too late. Or well, that's not quite right, because the way she dropped, she should still be. Something's not adding up in your brain. Suffice to say, other two. Running? Pursuing? Okay, got
Yes.
Calliope and Leo on the pursuit. Ponos, what you doing?
I want to retract everything I just said. This part is amazing. This has got a hell load more interesting. With only board games and silly dance moves to enjoy ourselves tonight, we've got a genuine, bona fide mystery. Sorry, yes, something's going on. I should probably go and do something. I'm just monologuing. But equally, Someone has to narrate. No, it's fine. I can narrate in my own head. Right. Who is where? Right.
Leo and Calliope are taking off down the hallway, directed by Threnos. Threnos, I assume you are trying to comfort the panicked woman as Eliana stands over the corpse, getting nothing from her magical forces.
Gonna sidle on up to your big fella and be like, wow, some party, eh? Some people just can't handle their drink. Who was that again? I've met so many people tonight that the name just doesn't
This
stick.
is Pythor, right?
Yeah.
You turn to him and he is calling for guards, and like as you come up to him, I got no idea, but we need to shut down the city gates. No one's getting out of here. And you see he is calling for troops that quickly pour into the courtyard, and he's directing them to each of the gates, noting that each of the captains of the gates should be alerted to put the city on lockdown. Go do something about this, Chosen. I've got this.
Okay, that's why I'm here.
Had so much. Oh, okay.
I feel like I specifically did mention that, but it's fine because it was ironic, I guess. Right, okay. Solving a mystery. And then just turn to the nearest person and be like, yeah, it's a crazy party, but remind me again, who was that? I've met so many people that I just, well, who
Before we get into that, I'm going to turn to our two pursuing members of the party. The two of you are going to have a change in music. Here we go. As you both take off after the figure. Calliope, are you able to fly right now?
Nope.
Okay, fantastic. Just double checking. Following down, you see what effectively looks like a large bundle of tattered gray and black robes making their way out into the main area here before leaping almost in a single bound with a few scratch marks up to the top of this and continuing to move this way. You guys can see my arrow.
Was it possible for me to cast a spell before this happens?
Make an attempt. You get a clear shot as it's as you get eyesight properly out in the open there, as it's on the rooftops.
Okay. She's gonna take out her lute and say, "Stop, Zephyr time," and try to cast Hold Person.
Sure. Yeah.
I need a wisdom save.
Let me check one thing. Let me get the wisdom save up. Yeah. You reach out, and the spell has no effect.
Figures. Okay. It was worth a shot.
How far are they from us?
So you guys can be in pursuit. I'd say right now you're at a bit of distance of like 60, 70 feet. Increasing if you don't put some extra time into moving, because they are effectively dashing.
Okay. Yeah. Can I stop and do Hunter's Mark?
It's within
Ooh.
eyesight if that's within range, yeah.
Yep. Range is 90 feet.
Perfect. You lock on and you get a ping. So how are you both going to pursue? Because they are now like around here,
Mm-hmm.
and they appear to be heading this direction, jumping down just in a clear shot into the lower agora there.
Yeah. Like I turned to go up. I was like, "Can you keep up?"
I can try.
And then
Good thing I didn't wear heels.
And he just Leo just continues to bolt.
Yep, we're running.
Okay. Make me some athletics or acrobatics checks.
Oh boy. Oh, I'm surprisingly good at acrobatics. Okay.
I was too.
That doesn't help that I rolled a natural 2, though.
Yeah, I got a 9.
9 and an 11. You both stumble and have to slow yourself down. As you follow. Sorry, just a second. One thing. And getting over that wall slows you just a bit, and you see the figure disappear into a number of tents, though you do have a chance of catching some movement to a point where, as you hit the ground, you can sort of barely see them in the distance. Hunter's Mark really being the only thing giving you a direction right now. How are you following now?
I think I just we head for the tents, right?
Yep.
And then just like see if I can just like spot them.
Ping
Or
is
spot
like
them.
going this way, this way, this way. It seems to be heading up this direction. And you all will get as you're moving through the tents. I'm gonna need another acrobatics check to avoid what appear to be small children at first scurrying about, but quickly become obvious they are in fact goatlings.
They rolled the same number.
Oh no! And I rolled a 7.
Oh no!
I think we're drunk.
I said at the beginning of this. As long as we don't roll as badly as Winterhold's Finest, we're gonna be fine. I absolutely jinxed us.
You both find yourselves stumbled over and mixed into the back of a rug merchant's tent that bundles you up as you are delayed once again, hearing the snickering of goatlings, the shouting of smooth legs, as they disappear into the night. You can get the ping continuing for a second.
Can I try like a
working
perception
yourselves off.
check?
Make me another perception check. If Calliope, if you're going to do so as well, do it with disadvantage.
Okay, mine I can do with advantage with my Hunter's Mark.
Let me give that a shot.
So 21.
Disadvantage. 6. God
You detect the movement heading this direction before it seems to stop. And then you feel your magic kind of just be like erased. Like something has maybe removed the spell or kind of counterspelled it in a way. And the figure has effectively disappeared into the night. Though it did seem to be heading south.
South. Okay.
And the fires you see blazing along the walls seem to indicate that each of these posts are quickly coming to light and attention. And all of you can now get a sense that the city is pretty quickly, it was just under siege. People are still probably a little bit jumpy. The walls are manned. They're on the frontier, and they're tough as shit for a reason. So, with your prey eluding you for the moment, with only a general heading for where they were going next, let's return to the party. Let me try and remember which of these is the cool music I liked. Yeah. Where Ponos is asking a question. The local party goer turns to you, and they're roll me a D100 for.
This is like, I like to imagine like the 6th or 7th person in a row that he's just gone up to going, who's there's all the bit. They've heard it like so many times.
The rumors are spreading. Hit me with a D100. Oh yeah,
90.
This is someone of the upper crust. They, if Estoria is mostly known for its military, this person definitely used to be in the military. You kind of recognize, though it is a older woman, the shoulder muscles are, and the prominence of a collarbone. She used to
Eliana,
be real
quick,
buff.
there's been a... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. Poor thing. You were asking who she was?
Yes, I've met so many people this
Eh,
evening.
well, it was, I believe I remember her from the wine festival. She was one of the performers. I think, sweet thing. Young one, I think. Though I remember her a few years before. I can't remember her name. She was one of Pythor's brides several times, and Esther's wifey once. One time she was Lutheria. I thought she did very well as Lutheria, and she'll turn and kind of confer. It seems people know her by her roles, less than her actual name. Though they swear it started with an A.
Perfect. We'll call it Victim A.
Well, hopefully there's no Victim B.
You think there's a chance there's... Oh, no.
So, my forensics crew / victim interrogation. Who wants to go first? Venos or Eliana? / Ponos, are you joining them?
Oh, yeah, I'll sidle up and be like, oh, no, what a shocking revelation. Our famous actress who is known in these parts for playing such roles as, you know, the wife a couple of times and woman at bus stop. How could this tragedy have befallen her? She will now be known as Victim A. That was also an audition for Grieving Husband. If any other fellow actors are watching, then once I'm done being a hero of these... Probably not the time, but what have we got, team?
Thrynos will keep glancing over at Ponos while there is this panicked and screaming friend next to him. Calm down. Did you know her well?
I've never
met her.
Make me a social roll of your choice, probably leaning on persuasion, though.
Okay.
Since there's no psychoanalysis in D&D.
Because I am not capable of flight, can I call upon my enthralling voice to
because
do
it
my
sounds
persuasion
cool,
checks?
will allow it.
Then I'll do this with advantage. As I go over to where the dice roller is and click upon it to do advantage before hitting roll. Roll. Well, all of a 10 with that 1 and 3.
You... Honestly, in my head, I'm imagining like the voice from Dune, but like more melodious. But with that calmness, it doesn't quite bring her down to a level of cooperation. And she's just, we were talking, meeting, speaking. She seemed to want to speak to somebody else. I asked where she was going and tried to start up a conversation. She was cute. And I don't know. She just dropped dead. Something touched her. I don't know.
Who did she want to talk to?
The king, you, anyone, she said, tried to get past me. I've been drinking. Oh. And she kind of gets lost a little bit further.
Why don't you go sit down and calm down?
And she'll nod, and there will be some guards that get up and will escort her. You've got yourself a good perimeter now. The fact that you're not all being like step pushed away indicates that like you all have like the guards recognize you as heroes of, you know, if not legend just yet, at least capability. So you're allowed to, you know, Brazilian Isles this thing as much as you like, or Sherlock Holmes it.
Eliana, can you tell how she died?
Oh, so she is dead.
Well, it looks that way. Want to do some checks about it?
Not really.
Eliana, is she still alive?
She's been alive the whole time.
Acting.
It's my role for murder victim. No. 14. You can conclude that this woman is deceased.
Fuck.
She is
It
no.
appears as though she has been asphyxiated and her entire body put into paralysis.
Does she have like a drink with her?
There is a spilled cup near where she has clearly fallen. It is the goblet is kind of rolling. Well, would be rolling, but it seems to have stopped on a groove in the tile or stones.
Hmm. Unfortunately, she's gone. And I don't have the necessary preparations to bring her back.
Can you tell what killed her?
She seemed to have been paralyzed down to her lungs. She couldn't breathe.
Magic? Poison?
With your 14, it's difficult to discern given the... You've been alive a long time, but elves, at least in my mind, you'd be quite singularly focused on prophetic magics and not the medical. So while you're familiar with things that might slow down the heart and certainly some poisons that can be dangerous, it looks to be, if not a very quick acting poison, magical in nature. But that's kind of just like a no science applies to situation guess.
No science. It's bullshit.
Medicine is a science.
I'll just kind of close her eyes and
You can try. They are stuck, those muscles tensed.
listen, rigor takes a hot minute to work.
Does it?
It does.
Not in this case.
I'm gonna come and beat you up and show you what rigor looks like.
It's magic, motherfucker. I ain't gotta explain shit.
The wizard.
I will magic something here real quick.
But I will allow you to place coins on her eyes. This is more traditional.
Boy, I didn't bring no fucking money.
That's right. The one of you who want to kick a bunch of coins is
Also, I'm poor as shit. So no, I didn't just be like, here, have the 2 monies I have.
the guard will come over and we can see to her preparations.
Right.
We are moving. I'm sorry. If you need someplace safe to stay, we don't know if this attack was even meant for her. If you need some place to stay, we are moving the king and his daughter elsewhere.
So,
Commands the defenses and investigation.
according to her, and I'll gesture toward the person nearby, the victim here was trying to speak to the king, or us, so I would say someone was trying to silence that in advance.
All the more reason to put the king in safety, yes? And his daughter, more importantly, I suppose. It would take a lot more to kill a god.
Definitely. But I'm sure he'll feel better wherever she is. Has anyone asked around to see if we know her name?
We have been collecting witness testimonies Many knew her for her roles, but a few knew her aria from the local production company. That though it is often suspected they were also a branch of the cult of Estoria.
Wonderful.
Yeah, with that, she'll just kind of breathe heavily through her nostrils.
I understand how that sounds, but you must also understand the cult is fully legal within the walls of the city. They are not always a malefic force. They put on plays and shows.
Just because something's legal doesn't mean that it's completely right.
Raucous drinking. I will not stand in defense of the Titan. Merely that not all who follow her are malefic in intent. If she was coming to warn the king, perhaps there was some good in her yet.
Gives us a place to look, doesn't it?
I believe they have nightly rehearsals. It is part of my patrol usually to be in the southwest.
Southwest.
The theater. The arena theater. We'll see to the body. I'll have it delivered myself.
Well, we should see if the other two were able to catch our suspect.
I would hope so. And so look over and just kind of stand close to the body and motion, and he's got it.
Is there anything else we should do in here before going to find them?
That's the card, or
No, the Ponos and Eliana.
No.
Say we find them and head to the theater.
Do we know if she was with anyone? She arrived with people?
we have not found anyone that she came to the party with. The guards at the door were put to sleep with magical means. We've only recently awoken them.
So we know two things about her. One, she's very boring. She puts people to sleep. The second is she has no friends. So she's definitely boring.
Well, part of that made you think that she put them to sleep, Ponos.
Part 2, where she was boring. Right. To adventure.
We should. It just occurred to me, see if she had anything on her. Notes, letters.
Okay. Time to
Well,
loot the body.
If she was coming to see the king or see us, maybe she brought a message. I just feel like we should check before leaving.
She does have a satchel on her person.
Maybe
Make
she has her
me-
papers in there.
Make me a investigation perception check.
Me?
Whoever wants to investigate that bag or satchel.
I'm not looking through her shit.
Very kind of awkwardly.
You just kind of
Theranos will kind of open and stick his head in.
There's a
It's
bunch
just-
of receipts,
it's
a
very dark in
lipstick,
there.
a spoon, a couple of copper, a paper clip, a chewed piece of gum, some regular gum,
Some
a
Tic
couple of
Tacs.
marbles, 15 packs of Tic Tacs. Apparently, she was a saleswoman. She has at least 3 different ledgers, each of varying sizes and colors.
Those are personal.
Makeup
I wouldn't
sample.
want to
She
get
was
those
part
out.
of a pyramid scheme.
yeah, a bunch of
Please
Mary
join
Kay
our
products.
MLM.
It's so easy. It's so easy. Let me show you.
All-
Sell
all you need to
product.
Actually,
Is make 4 sales a week and have one person selling under you, and you are set for life.
Mhm.
She has
it's
a
not a
sticker
pyramid.
on the inside that
It's
says
an
"Boss
acropolis.
Babe."
You gotta form. You're right now. You're at the bottom of the pillar, but once you're at the top, you'll have the entire structure keep you up. Yeah. No. You look at the bag and find it's quite dark in there, but you can identify a few scrap pieces of papyrus with some writing on them that you can quickly identify as stage direction and lines. But
There's-
beyond that, it's hard to say.
Nothing here. Let's find the others.
Right. I'm going to cast Ascending
Sure. To whom?
to Calliope because I don't trust Leo as a character.
Divide.
He's very trustworthy.
He's
He's a very
very
good boy.
he's
with
too
trust.
himbo to trust with magic right now.
So
Fair.
you focus and get that copper wire a moving.
Calliope, she was killed with poison. Watch out for any possible coatings. Did you find the assailant? Over.
Copy that. We lost the suspect / assailant, but they were heading south. Over.
Well, you guys didn't talk about where you're going to meet up. So, what is the plan with pursuit team?
Should we keep following or regroup?
I mean, if they're skilled enough, like you, did they take off that magic that you cast?
Yes. Pretty sure they did.
Oh, then
Because I don't sense
that-
them.
that makes me a little wary of them, or if they're not alone. So maybe regrouping would be a good idea.
Okay. Sounds good. And I think, yeah, we head back to the party. And try to meet up and come up with a plan. Is it like late into the evening, I guess, right now?
Oh,
still?
yes. It's quite late. And you're definitely all into your cups a little bit. You can realize coming back together, we're all a little tipsy. So,
We shouldn't be doing this.
We definitely turn a corner and run into each other.
oh, yeah, definitely.
Thurnos.
Just
Oh.
us. Don't please hold the firebolt, please.
The theater.
The theater?
She was
Theater.
an actor.
Actress.
Cool.
That may have been where our suspect was going. He's heading south.
Yeah. Great.
Good plan.
Let's head over. And I think we all head to the theater.
I need to make a quick stop.
Are you stopping?
I need a spear. I didn't bring the artwork is misleading. I didn't bring a spear with me.
Yes, this is fair.
The question is, yeah, you are all effectively in party clothes. Are you taking a moment to go back to what I assume is the Legit house where you've at least sent all of your clothing?
Wait, what? This
Slash,
isn't a
are
fucking
you-
warehouse.
No.
Some people changed at the Legit place. Some
Self-storage.
people were in the palace. So do you, if you are not already wearing effectively all the things you would, as Ponos is always prepared for a fight, because Ponos is kind of outdoing you all, being prepared at all times.
Where does he keep his daggers?
Don't ask.
No, I'm asking. This is
don't
a
wanna
legitimate
know.
question.
Yeah, he's got like a haversack. Like an old kind of like big square backpack kind of thing, like a bedroll on it, all filled with all his junk, which usually just gets slung in a corner, which is why he never has any weapons on him.
And a
Just goes,
completely
yeah, I'm not going to
superfluous
carry
belt.
this like big heavy rucksack of junk. Like, I can carry all my. Well, I've got a bag of 50 bits of adamantium somewhere.
Oh yeah, you could probably store that reliably here if you wanted.
Just got loads of stuff in a big backpack that he's just like, no, just anywhere else will do. Take it away. I don't want this. I'll leave it wherever. Just leave it. Leaves it around the place, like the school kid that always forgets his like rucksack And goes through his lesson, and they're like, "Where are your books?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I sat down for 2 seconds, and now it's gone.
As soon as Ponos enters a building, just drops the bag right in the middle of the
Just
front
just
door.
like boom. There we
Yeah.
go. And you're like, "Don't do that. Your weapons will get rusty." And he's like, "Don't even care about my weapons. Don't even need them." I see.
So anyway, I think we're
So-
changing.
Yeah,
All right.
I think I follow Ileana.
Suit up sequence engaged, armor on, and definitely putting it on backwards the first time for some of you. Just like, it takes about twice as long for you all to armor up as expected. As you all get out, and by this point, you can kind of get that the captains of the gates have all returned. If you do not recall, Captain Publius Horatos, Captain Camille Horatos, and Captain Alcrates Horatos, each reporting no signs of an intruder heading outside the walls, and the mountain observation posts have not detected anyone scaling anything, so the killer is very much still within the city. So, with that, all suited up, ready to head for a night at the theater. Gosh, I want to say night at the opera so bad, but that's a reference to something else. I think now would be a great time for us to take our first break. So, strap in, take a chance to stretch your legs and handle all your businesses, legal or otherwise. It is tax season after all. And please join us as soon as we return. We'll be back shortly. HP, if you'd please take us a break. Welcome back, everybody. That was a quick countdown. Almost caught me doing something embarrassing. Wouldn't that be terrible? Anyway,
Crunch.
we return our party to their investigation. The murder of Arya, an actress, potential cultist, overall unknown at this point. You make your way down the quieter streets of Estoria, familiar to you all by now, many times over. Going through the Agora, the quiet night only offering a few merchants dragging their carts either out or in, late night travelers getting ready for the next morning, likely heading to the Dragon Tooth Inn afterward. But pushing forward, you can see light coming from the Agora. Not the Agora, sorry. The Agora is where you're at, the amphitheater. And heading there, as you had once it feels like a very long time ago. You see a number of actors down on the sand and the wooden stage that they've dragged out. They appear to be running lines. Everyone's out of costume in casual garments, working by torchlight, and generally not paying you any mind as you stand at the top of the stairs. Immediately, you get the sense that things aren't going super well. There appears to be several notes from the director having to come up, even as, no, you're doing it all wrong, my dear. You must try a bit more. I understand it is late in the night, but we must get practice in, lest you aren't able to pull off our performance tomorrow. You understand, it's a very important role. You are Lutheria, the Titaness herself. Please, try a bit harder to embody her graciousness and her power. You are torturer, yes, but you're also sexual. You are powerful. You are a woman. You are every woman. You must embody this, please. And he'll step back for a moment, and the actress, you can see an older, early 40s woman, It takes another roll, but it's, is almost immediately stopped again. And that's when someone from one of the stagehands will likely spot you. I'm sorry, could I help you?
We're just following up on an incident of sorts.
Incident?
Is the director here? Would that be him there? Thank you. And I will slide past the stagehand.
Yes, but and are all you following, or?
No,
Yep.
I'm gonna stick behind to ask him something.
Tarsos doesn't like interruptions. Oh no. If you could stop them, he will be quite cross with me if he finds out I let them all through.
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, sure, they will be fine.
Could he answer a question?
I could answer the question if it gets you out of the way performances and maybe back and forth.
Did someone just arrive, like very recently?
No, well, aside from you, but I am guessing that's not what you're asking. No, Sima and Tassos have been practicing this scene for most of the night. There might be some people working backstage, in the about and around that I might not have noticed. I've been trying to get I've been negotiating with the butcher for a particular piece of pork, bloody meat. We're doing the Plight of Pelenia tomorrow. We need something for it. He like kind of nervously. He says,
Mm-hmm. So none of your co-workers just showed up? Or...
Well, I don't keep track of many of them. Like I said, I've only recently, well, not that recently, but it was like I was trying to get a deal on an older piece of meat. I just needed to bleed a little, just for the knife so the audience can see it. I thought if I go in late when he's closing up shop, and the point is, yes, I haven't seen everyone around here. If you excuse me, I need to go. I need to go speak with. Oh no, they're talking to him. And indeed, you can all now hit the sands of the amphitheater.
I'll lean over to Ponos and say just a little too loudly, I always preferred Arya in that role. Didn't you?
The main actress just kind of like looks a bit confused at you and the director. I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself and you forgot to introduce me, and I have to ask, first of course, let me do the proper introductions. What are you doing on my fucking stage?
Sorry, I didn't realize we were interrupting, presumably, the understudies for whatever performance this is supposed to be.
Look,
I don't know if you've heard of us. We're the heroes selected by the deities to save this place. We thought we'd come down here because,
the Oracle's chosen, yes?
I thought you would have heard of us. Yeah,
I have. I've been working on something. You would love it. Oh my goodness. It is still far too early to share, though.
Yes.
To the next festival, I will
upset.
debut. I promise.
Now, I couldn't help but notice there was a very loud chap pondering a certain characteristic or set of characteristics that you were somewhat lacking in that performance, namely strength and grace and wisdom and.
Excuse me, darling. Why don't you take a moment to sit? Yeah, and he'll like hold your shoulder in one hand and listen. Steama's having an off night. I don't know what's wrong with her. but she cannot act her way out of a clay pot.
Well, if you work with amateurs, but don't worry, you can't say that
She
the
has been
Oracle's
solid
chosen.
before. She has been so fantastic before. But tonight, she fails me.
Perhaps she just needs a little inspiration.
I am
See,
trying to inspire
I have
her.
a solution to your problem
Yes.
because that's what I do. And I'm going to put my
Wait
arm
a
around his shoulder and
moment.
spin him to look directly at the sort of inquisition that's taking place at the same time. From Eliana kind of interrogating the poor stagehand, and I'll be like, look, there is your woman. Strong, calm, getting her way, putting her way across effortlessly, in control, strength, but also beautiful, desirable, but attainable. Yes. Everything your actress is failing to deliver is right there on your stage under your nose. Perhaps if you were able to assist us in our investigations, we could teach her a thing or two about truly being a vision seeked by the gods.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage.
Ooh, well, that's going to help my +2.
Could help. It's a very you've
Either in that one,
or
an 8.
so here's the thing. You've made a very good point. I will consider it. But first I need to know exactly what you want me to do while you interrupt my precious time trying to mold an actress that is seemingly fallen apart like a clay at the loom.
Well, from what I've seen, it's clearly going to take a very long time. So,
I am a sculptor of people.
I thought you were a director. Oh, I
What
misunderstood.
is a director but another artist? So please, what do you need so I can get you out of here as quickly as possible? I will consider your friend. She has certain properties that might be good, but she does not know the lines.
Wonderful. This is exactly what I thought the theatre would be like. Just objectification everywhere. How can you help us? That is really the question. But I believe we will need access to certain areas of the theatre that normal audience members wouldn't be privy to. We won't interrupt your stage time naturally, but we'll need to certainly investigate the dressing rooms, the backstage areas inhabited by
Look. I will make it easy for you.
so many names.
If you need to go ask someone in my team what they were doing, please go ask them, but not while they're performing, okay?
I wouldn't dream of it.
We're
I
taking
just
a
know
break.
that you're
I will
the highest
give you-
authority here, and we have your blessing to
Look,
talk to whoever we need.
maybe you asking a few questions we'd like to fire under someone else's to get these things right before tomorrow. I would love to have some sleep before the sun rises. Get it done. Don't bother my guests if they are practicing. They are on the stage, they are mine. Otherwise, enjoy, please.
Cheers. Guys, I've done an amazing thing. We are not to bother the cast while they're practicing, so all we have to do is stop their practice and we can bother them all we like.
I'm sure that will go very well.
You're welcome.
So, should someone go speak to the stagehand, someone else to the actors?
I'll go speak
Do
to the
we-
stagehands.
Do we think that the murderer. Maybe hiding out here still. It might not be a wise idea to go wandering off or spooking the staff willy-nilly, so to speak.
Maybe we can be a little subtle in our lines of questioning. Someone is going to be visibly uncomfortable.
Well, yeah.
And go ahead.
Oh, so I was just gonna say, me and Calliope, we're chasing after them. So if
Yeah.
anyone's gonna be spooked, they'll be directed at us.
Mm-hmm. Also, something to keep in mind is they probably wouldn't be in the same garments that the two of us saw them in, which would be these wrappings of different kinds. If you could find that somewhere around here, maybe stick it to a particular person that stores things there, that might help us out.
So, since the fellow up there said that he didn't know if any stagehands or backstage people showed up, should the two of you go backstage just to see if you make someone nervous?
Works for me.
Gonna hurt.
Obfuscate your intentions as much as possible. I guess the three of us will stick to the actors. All right. Well, if the lead is off of her game, maybe that's a good place to start. Taking
It's
a
going to be tricky to
break.
get past the director, though.
Well, he said they were
He's
taking
clearly
a
got his
break.
work cut out for her, unless, of course, we could find a acting coach.
You want to be the acting coach?
I don't know if I have the right qualifications for what they're looking for, but I'm sure one of us does. They
What?
need a big, towering, terrifying, strong, burly, and thoroughly unpleasant person.
Speaking of,
Ah, here comes Eliana now. Enter stage left.
Enter boot ass is what's about to
Oh,
happen.
that's not what the script says.
Oh, I'm going
Oh,
off
it does.
script.
How bizarre.
Well, let me get a look at that script.
Whoop. Well, now you have a copy of it. I think it might be best if you go and interrogate our leading lady. There's something clearly distracting her. I noticed it with my keen observations.
Was it you?
I mean, it could have been. I am a half man, half goat creature. Neither portion is particularly flattering.
well, yeah, let's go talk to her then. We'll find the lead.
Okay. So, you are heading. Seema is standing just a bit off stage. Stage being the wooden platform she was up on, and appears to be looking down at some scraps of paper she has in her hands. Kind of nodding to herself and then mouthing wordlessly along as you approach. Yes. Can I help you?
We couldn't help but hear and notice that you're having a bit of an off evening.
Nerves. Well, I promise I'm usually much better at night, but something about tonight's wrong. I can feel it. I've been here all night, just going over lines.
What do you think feels so wrong?
I wish I could tell you, my little sweet winged thing, but can't quite put my finger on it.
Speaking of putting your finger on something, can I vibe check creepy lady?
Sure. Creepy. Okay. Wow. I need to.
You just like immediately answered all the questions we were about to ask in like the first 2 sentences.
I definitely was here and was nowhere else, but something's wrong.
And everyone saw me.
God damn it.
Well, here's how we're going to handle this. Whatever assumptions you have at this moment that you feel Thronos would have, or what you feel.
So you've been here all night.
Well, not all night. I stopped to go get dinner and, have a drink or two, spreading the word about the performance tomorrow. You know how Tassos likes to get the word out.
What is this play about? I mean, don't think me uncultured. I know. I just want to know that you know.
The Plight of Polenia.
I mean, it's a classic, but what's
It
the
is
rough
classic. Well, it's about Lutheria and her torture of the girl Polenia. I mean, really, it's interesting. It's kind of meant to poke fun at the social conceptions we constructed around bards and their proclivities towards being lighthearted. You see, Polena is completely humorless. Lutheria, being a goddess titan, attempts to get her to laugh in several ways, starting, of course, with fun things, but eventually leading to more macabre and interesting. And, well, at the end, it's about how we shouldn't take death so lightly, I think. Lutheria being the goddess of death, and her trying to make her job mirthful, but this bard, being complete without humor, fails to see that there can be enjoyment in any activity. I don't know. I feel it's up to the audience's interpretation, of course. So what do you think?
I mean, I knew that, obviously.
Of course, you're familiar with the works here. Yes. Now, what is your interpretation?
I feel to fully understand the working context, you have to pay attention to the author's greater body of work.
Tassos does have quite the library. Perhaps I should study them further.
Well, the interesting thing about libraries is you can go in them in much the same way that you could go into a party in incredibly similar ways that I don't need to justify because they are apparent. You said you were advertising, spreading the word of this macabre, satirical black comedy. I heard there was a very swanky shindig going on at old Pythor's pad.
Yes.
Would that be a great place to advertise something like this?
I would have loved to go, but Tarsos has kept me here. He keeps saying I'm not doing it right, but I'm saying all the lines correctly. I think I'm putting the emphasis where it needs to be, but he keeps talking about graciousness. I honestly think he just felt bad when he cast me as Lutheria.
Did he have anyone else in mind?
Aharia has always been quite talented, though
She has always been quite talented, you're right.
I mean, I imagine she still is. but I
Well,
hope she
why
wouldn't
would
be,
she
so
not
I could
be?
keep my role. I don't know. She hasn't shown up to practice tonight. Usually she'd be here enjoying my failure in the front seats.
Clearly, the camaraderie that only theatre can bring at a rehearsal.
Well, I'm not going to lie and say we're best friends. We're both competing for the same roles. But she's enjoying herself wherever she is tonight, and she'll be here this morning, and I'll get to, and torture her on a performance. So maybe a few bad lines will really put a stake in her.
Yep.
Well, don't choke on any of your lines tonight.
I've been trying not to, but stage direction. I'm sorry, can I ask, why are you here? It's not about the performance or my afternoon. You two strapping young men certainly have more interesting prospects than maybe.
We're just curious onlookers,
Just gone for a walk.
interested in the process.
I thought it was a library.
Writing a play.
I once saw a dog here.
Onos has great ideas about such things.
I have the brain.
He
Good.
could-
Well, this
well,
was
He could certainly
an
tell me
event.
all about his ideas.
Well, we wouldn't want to bore you in the midst of a practice.
actually. I could.
Onos, we
could-
don't want to bore her in the midst of a
I
practice.
do have an excellent idea. So, the problem I find often is I find it hard to tell when the toast is toasted to a satisfactory level. Now, my idea is some sort of transparent toasting device, so you can watch the bread to its optimal golden. We'll talk about this later.
Yes, please do. I'll be here.
Well,
I think I've got a sponsor.
I think we have no additional answers. Hopefully the others are having better luck.
Speaking of the others, tell me what's going on.
Oh, looks like we're going backstage. So what's going on backstage?
Well, slow movement. A lot of people moving things about. Though as you enter, there's a kind of a stop and assessment of who you are, as you are not the usual, and people kind of walk about with more haste as you come around. They don't seem to be doing anything too busy, mostly just double checking ropes and other stores, getting costumes painted, repainted, working out some cracks that have grown in some masks, Grecian theater things.
Hashtag
It wasn't-
Grecian theater
It
thing.
wasn't my particular area of study, though I am certain they have masks, they have various togas and robes, and they have ropes and pulleys and some contraptions to work in regards to making sure the grounds can be shifted and moved. And plenty of people milling about because it's late at night and stage crew doesn't have anything to do, so they're shooting the shit and getting a little drunk.
Yeah, that's entirely fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way that Calliope would start to walk into this and how she would carry herself would very much feel like someone who's getting to have a backstage tour of somewhere they really like. So she'll just be acting like, wow, so this is how it all works. Just absolutely mystified by how everything looks. What do you think, Leo? I've never seen anything like this.
No, yeah, it's very cool. I can't figure out what those ropes things do, but very cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we could ask and she'll flag down whatever stagehand. Like, doesn't seem to be too busy with anything.
Well, if you want to, you can certainly do so. There's, a man kind of wearing a loose tunic, kind of hanging around, and younger, probably like early 20s. Yes, how can I help you?
Hi, pardon. Name's Calliope, Oracle's Chosen. This is Leo, also Oracle's Chosen. He had a question about how these ropes work.
The rope, yeah, Oracle's chosen. The Oracle's, yeah, the chosen of the killed the, and he just faints.
Oh, great! No,
and someone
they
comes
were
over.
ahead of us too. My strategy is.
Someone else will come over. Sorry. He's a bit of a fan. Super fan. I think he was. He's from the east. I think he's from the Heartlands. He just moved here. Sorry. What can I help you with?
Yes, my friend Leo had a question about how all the ropes work and everything. We've
Yeah.
never been anywhere like this.
Yeah, usually from the seats, it looks like very cool. Things are moving.
Yes.
And from the back is just ropes.
The wave of the seas when Estoria is being sunk in that last tragic battle against the Kraken. Yes. You see, we have a variety of weighted platforms that can be raised and lowered, as well as some areas where, if you go up the stairs here, an actor or actress can be lowered onto the stage as if one of the gods or titans themselves. So, no, really, it's simple engineering. Nothing too intense. Not quite as fancy as they might have in Mitros with the Colosseo being as dynamic as it is. We can't flood the place as much as it tempts us as close as we are to the river here. We have gotten some water features figured out, but usually it involves us with having buckets.
Really? That sounds so dramatic, though.
Oh, well, it's surely nothing compared to true exploits of heroism, but we try and capture it.
That's great. Is it just you two who handle all the
No. There is a small team here. It also keeps us in line and keeps us make sure we're out of sight, that sort of thing. Plenty of ways in and out of here without the audience having to see us.
Mm-hmm. Lots of secret trapdoors and things, I would imagine.
Not quite trapdoors, but there are a few passageways. I could show you one. It leads out to the around the theater here, under the seats.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Of course, please follow me. It'll be my honor. The emotion's over and get some people to get some water and a towel or something to prop the head up of the passed out stagehand.
Yeah. In the meantime, with the questioning, and as Leo asked his question, and we're getting the explanation on that, just kind of looking around, again, seeming just so mystified of everything. Do I clock anyone that looks uncomfortable that we're back there?
Yeah, make an insight check, or make a vibe, insight, perception, whichever of the two. Both of you can.
Sweet. Oh boy. Okay, both the same. Oh wait, that was disadvantage. Never mind. I didn't want that.
Aren't you?
Okay, we'll just take the higher one anyway. I'll add my +2 to make that 15.
Okay. Looking around, you can see a number of people here. Look very wary as you're stepping around. It seems that a lot of people in what you can pick up with your insight is that a lot of people wearing the same kind of tunic rope, something to tie around their waist to keep, secure, flapping around the breeze. Not everyone's Ponos. They don't all have the confidence that he has. And they all seem to have the same color rope, and you associate the rope with some sideways glances coming your way.
Okay.
Like, whoever has this particular type of purple tunic rope seems a bit suspect of you all. Your guide does not. And he'll lead you around to a kind of small under passageway. And so you see here, we are just below the stage. Secure, of course. We can't have any quakes or the shifting of the river eroding anything away. So this should put us out just to a small passageway. It looks like it's where we'll have people purchase entry. It will feed us out, and he'll stop and look down, and you can see immediately in the hallway a very familiar bundle of raggedy-looking robes. I'm sorry, someone hasn't cleaned up in here. I'll just look at this. Oh, this is a costume. We have not used this in ages. My goodness.
So is that not from this show?
Oh, the plight of Pelina. No. There are furies and fates that initially dropped Pelina into the underworld, but no, the fates are winged, powerful creatures. This is a ghoul from another play. It's about another bard, funnily enough. It descends into the Nether Sea to bargain with Lutheria and for his lost love, yet finds himself entranced by the goddess and inevitably betting her instead. It's quite good. Kind of a comedic love story, in a way.
How long has it been since you've run that show?
Oh, quite a good bit of time. I would say we did our last run of it 2 festivals ago. I've only been here for 3 festivals. That's typically our biggest showing. We are given the main stage, drunken debauchery, and Tassos likes to put up the statues of Lutheria around when that happens. So it seems like he's worked something out of the city to be able to kind of monopolize on the amphitheater. Right now, we're sharing time with the discus team. Hence our strange hour. We have to smooth out the sand, let me tell you. Anyway, I should put these clothes back. I'll be feel free to pop up by the concessions and in the entry, but well, I'll be backstage if you need me.
Just as he was kind of casually picking up the costume and everything, was very forthright with this information. I'm still wanting to give a little bit of an insight check just to make sure it wasn't him. Just oh, look at these things here. I'm shocked they're here. That
just
kind of thing.
Just a smidge of insight. Well, I
Just
guess you could just make a whole insight roll for me.
Okay, it's just I feel like a vibe check is necessary.
Oh, just a little bit of a vibe check.
Just as a treat. 11.
What I'll say the same thing I said to HP. Whatever perception you currently hold in your head right now, feel free to roll that continuing on.
Okay. Very helpful.
And he'll
but still, it's in the back of my head.
But he seems quite earnest and honestly surprised. So he will carry it back, and so that was Threnos and Ponos and Leo and Calliope. Eliana, where were you going again? Or were you with the other groups?
Oh, I was with Threnos and Ponos.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, the OS team I thought was a solid duo for a second there. So I guess the question is, what is each group doing now?
Well,
You have not revealed to anyone here the fate of Arya. So the play is going on as normal. It seems that Tassos is not only director, but also another member of the production. You actually start to recognize him, those on the ground floor, as the guy with the overinflated muscle suit from the production of The Fall of Esther.
Thought he looked familiar.
Yes, the one that Ponos pierced and deflated in front of a large crowd. He doesn't seem to hold a grudge. Doesn't seem to remember who you are. So,
Well, the lead has reason to have no competition, but seems to have a sound alibi. We have to figure out if anyone showed up late, or maybe reconvene with the other two and see if they found anything backstage.
you will start to see Seema head backstage, though.
Okay. Nope, nothing else. Sorry.
She'll give you a wave, but head beyond. And as the two of you are coming up, you'll see she ducks into a kind of small tent. Really just kind of a curtained off area.
Like a she's taking 5 feel?
Didn't seem to have like a shiftiness to her walk, or like she's not looking around her shoulder. She just seems to confidently like head back, wave at you as you kind of call out to her. And then she'll head straight in. Where, can I ask, Calliope and Leo, what are you doing right now?
I was leaning more towards like following the rest of the tunnel to see where it goes, just in case there's like,
Oh, sure
I don't
thing.
know, more clues like footprints and things.
Sure thing. So the two of you will then not see where Seema heads off to, but will indeed head through the rest of the tunnel to the entrance. Why don't you both make me an investigation check? As you push open this hatch, very easily done, and you find yourselves just out, I'll ping on the map, right there in the corner. A 9.
I got a 9.
And can I get a Calliope investigation as well?
Mm-hmm.
22.
Let's go.
Impressive. Leo, you're kind of looking around and not getting much of a sense for anything other than the fact that the door to this place is still, the curtain rather, is still very much pushed open, as if in haste. Calliope, you'll notice that on the handle there does seem as if someone grabbed at this with longer claws or nails than they perhaps intended, leaving slight scratch marks around the handle. And the force that this is flung up by seems to be indicative of someone moving quickly. And another thing, something in the very air itself to you smells acrid and like a bit like decaying flesh. Not great, I know, but you know, something doesn't smell good here, and it seems to really just be along the area where you could approximate someone would have put a hand and then grabbed the lock, flung it open, and moved it down quickly.
Do you smell that?
Yeah, it's
not good.
It's a weird smell.
Well, do we keep going down this tunnel? I mean, it is pretty obvious this is the way that they went.
Yeah, they came in here and
then went back to the stage.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's someone backstage maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I don't know if you saw, but there were a lot of people giving us a side eye, and they all had purple ropes, like belt ropes.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I got a nat 1, so I saw some ropes.
Somewhere, a wall falls down. Yeah, did you hear from the director down there? No, no, no! You're breaking the fourth wall. How is the audience supposed to be immersed if you tell them exactly how you're feeling in the stage direction? No!
Yeah, I think we should head back and see what the rest of the group found.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, heading. You don't have to go back through the tunnel. You can literally just walk back down the stairs you just came down to the theater ground, to the amphitheater ground. The three of you will be able to spot comrade Leo. No,
Now look who's
you fool! You idiot! Pull yourself together. You can't be a fury if you're calling out. I descend now with you. I will tell you a new one. So, Leo and Calliope are descending from the very stairs you just saw them descend from, and they headed backstage. So, that's odd.
I take it you found something interesting?
Yeah, there's this really interesting secret path that stagehands use, and some of the actors use to keep the audience from seeing that they left the stage. We also found the same outfit that our suspect had in there. They're definitely here.
So whoever it is, they're definitely here. Eliana, could you send another message?
Yeah, I can. I have one more in me, but to whom?
Well, right now there's an entire city locked down. Kind of glance around and make sure nobody's within earshot of us. But we don't have to lock down an entire city. If we could get backup to come here and keep anyone from leaving. But we have to be certain they're still here. It's a bit of a quandary. What do you all think? Should we ask for backup? Seal the exits?
Just to keep people. Yeah.
It wouldn't take the entire city guard. But some.
Can I make can anyone who potentially wants DM insight before I say something that I can't say through a mouthpiece here, make an intelligence check.
Ooh. Leo is intelligent.
Fuck, he is.
The surprise.
You've honestly no, because this is good because you've been hunting, and so yeah, Eliana, Calliope, and
Everyone
Leo.
but Thrynos.
Everyone but this is well, you're proposing this plan, so it works. You know that while closing the loop will definitely give you guys a secure hold on the suspects. It will also alert anyone involved and make them clam up that much more. Essentially, you'd be alerting that you know, and so you'd be locking yourself in for whatever happens next. Just, again, this is not like a don't do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just letting you know, like, this is like a final answer situation, even if it is just whittling down to like a 50-50, using a lot of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire terms. But, you know.
I think Leo's like, maybe we should investigate a little bit more just before we are sure this is where our suspect ended up. We found his clothes, but we just don't know who yet. And if we surround the area, it might alert him or them, and make another, another dash for the exit. Yeah, right, break for it.
Well, maybe instead of just surrounding the place, we could block off whatever tunnel you all took. And continue the search.
We could.
Should we?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of like,
I agree that we could.
The capability is there.
It is possible, theoretically. I would just hate to be outrun again.
It's true.
True, but
and if we block it from the outside, no one would know it's blocked.
As you debate, Seema will come back from backstage, and just kind of like release her butt of hair down. And... Tarsus, I'm ready. I've figured out this little play of yours. Get that spotlight for me set. And
Eventually, people are going to want to start leaving. We either have to have it figured out or stop them from doing so.
Seema will climb the stage, gather some notes in her hand and toss them aside, as if only to impress anyone who's watching this moment. And we begin going through the lines, and the difference in delivery is like night and day. She nails it. You have all effectively had the voice of Lutheria in your heads once. Drove you mad. This woman delivers on that level. Just nailing every line. She has no one to work off of, but you can almost feel yourselves in the place of this tortured bard. It's very good. And as she finishes, Tassus just stands up and begins clapping. No nuts, my darling. My goddess, my titaness herself. Please. Everyone, why are you not clapping? Why are you not clapping? Yes, good. Yes, hands go together like this. Come on.
Where did that come from?
I don't know, but I'm not going to fight her on it. And then she just takes a few.
She was not that good a few moments ago.
Does she seem like the same person?
As far as you can tell, it's the same face, same everything, same voice. Same mannerisms with her hands as she kind of, just came out a whole lot more confident from her staging room, from her, dressing area.
Well, look, if she did it that well, they're all going to be leaving very soon. So, what are we going to do? Not what could we do, what are we going to do? Because right now, the only option is to call him back up and lock everyone in.
I wonder if... So, something that I noticed in that tunnel as well, at the very end of the tunnel, I didn't mention this before, that they were definitely in a hurry to get into that tunnel just because there's these claw marks around, and also this very acrid smell. I don't really know how to describe it. It smells like decay and it's really gross. I wonder if we could find that somewhere around here. If it followed them at all.
Why don't you all make me a perception check right now?
Oh boy.
Does anyone have a very particular pet that I am sure would be snobby about smells?
And I was like, God damn it, we need Scooby.
Leo, you can do so with advantage.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, 7. All right.
4. I've not rolled.
There we go.
8.
9.
15.
So we'll start first with Leo because, first in the order. You are kind of distracted, just smelling a lot of sand and makeup-y smells. Kind of reminds you of this one time you and Versi went to this kind of fancy costume party with a bunch of other nymphs and stuff, and it was kind of weird, but she had a good time and you had a good time, and then you had a good time afterward, and it was all good. But Mikros on your shoulder. Someone just trying. It just seems to very much recoil at a scent. Ponos and Eliana, you are both buffeted at the end of this performance by a smell of perfume. Very heavy perfume. Now, this could be the stage. This could just be something, that's finally hitting your senses after you've kind of been in a bit of a rush to figure out who the hell a murderer is, but it's definitely hitting you now on the wind that that's a hefty perfume. You might as well be in someone's bonus right now.
Wow. Can I try and follow the smell towards the curtained area that you'd disappeared behind previously, and see if it kind of leads that way? If I wander that way, giving loud, obvious sniffs, does the fragrance remain as potent?
Yes.
Definitely come from this way that we saw her come from. That's a good sign.
You'll get on stage. What is my darling little horned boy doing?
It's a weird thing to say, but
I mean, you're not wearing pants. It's a weird thing to wear.
should I?
Oh, you won't hear any complaints from me. Though, I could always do bigger, I suppose. Concerned simp.
Damn. Just fucking murdered. Well, there's been 2 murders tonight, everybody. Fuck.
I'm gonna be like, you're right, I should put some clothes on, and I'm gonna grab the curtain, like the front of the curtained area, and just clink, rip that down.
As you do, you see all the effects of a typical dressing room. A small carrying trunk opened to a variety of clothing and costumes, pots of makeup, and a pot of oil, of scented oil, perfumed, rather. You know, it's not like we don't quite have the aerosol for perfumes yet, but we do have scented oils and poultices to rub against the skin, and that is definitely, maybe not the source, but very similar, if not the source itself. But you know, there's also several marks in the sand. Number of feet. Either someone's been heavily pacing or what? Hard to tell.
Those discarded robes that you found earlier, I don't suppose they had a particularly strong aroma to them. Something you might notice, even when they were discarded.
Anything that I noticed? I don't think so.
They smelled, if anything, more of the terrible scent that you initially
Mhm.
got.
Yeah, nothing aromatic for sure.
As soon as I see the big trunk of costumes, I'm gonna be like, well, don't need this. Like, throw the curtain away, immediately over to the costume trunk, and then just like, big.
Obviously,
trousers.
those you still back out will see Seema.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, we'll never know.
No.
I thought it was me.
Killed
The
him
true
too.
mystery.
Campaign's over, everybody.
She
Good
killed him
job.
too.
A hat trick of
No.
murders.
All right, everyone, go ahead and level up.
Hurry, quick! This is our only chance to get those sweet, sweet levels.
That's what I heard. As
Just-
you put on the Sultan costume, you gained a level.
It was amazing. All your stats increased by 6.
Oh my god, now we're up to
That's
zero.
Does that
So
bring
much.
you over the cat?
Oh no.
God.
Right,
Well,
and
I
also
think-
one.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
gonna
no.
Oh
yeah.
no!
I think we might have
Please
to go to
stand
break.
by. We'll be right back after these brief messages. Shuffle cameras.
That's fine. Hey, welcome back. Guess what? I asked my computer to not break down, but it did. What are you gonna do? That's life. Anyway,
I'm
Kronos,
a DM.
you were putting on a costume last I heard, which I assume is not the last thing you did.
I mean, you can make those assumptions all you like.
Because as you did, I'm not gonna freeze this time.
And I did.
And you did. Oh my goodness. Seema is going to look over to Tassos. Excuse me. Why is he going through my things? Are we just going to let anybody rough house through my... And Tassos, a fantastic point, my dear. Excuse me. What are you doing?
I'm putting some clothes on because that's what you just explicitly told me to do.
Darling, I didn't tell you to put your clothes on.
Oh, I'll take these off again.
Good. You can wait back there if you want.
I mean, I wasn't going to leave here and then take them off. That would be weirder.
I could ask for a couch to be brought around. You can relax and stay there as long as you like. Just saying. Anyway, Tassos, I think we're done here. We should be ready for tomorrow night.
I must ask, where did you find that?
Oh, find what?
The talent.
Well, really, I think I just had to reflect on some inner memories. You know, just understand that death is an inevitable thing. It happens, it occurs. Why stop it? Why fight it? Treat it as the woman it is.
You channeled
so-
Lutheria, didn't you?
Well, that's what the role calls for, darling.
I didn't mean it in a figurative sense.
Well, if I could summon a Titaness, I certainly would, but... What are you gonna do?
Leo is going to do something.
What is Leo gonna do?
He's gonna walk up. He doesn't have a good line actually. I think there's more to this than meets the eye, and he's gonna cast detect evil and good.
A faint.
Yeah. So for the duration, there's an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located.
How do you go about casting this?
What's this?
Well, like, what's your process? Draw me through.
I think. Yeah, he stands up. He kind of awkwardly, everyone is doing their thing. He comes up, hesitates for a sec because he doesn't have anything going on at the moment, and then just says, "We will make you reveal yourself," as I said. And and then he just I think he points and just casts the spell at Senna.
She looks offended the whole way down. And there's no save, correct? That's just a you detect thing?
Yep, I can penetrate most barriers, but it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, metal, lead, and dirt and wood.
Other question. Could you all move me to an approximate location in the arena for no reason whatsoever at all?
Cool.
Just like, your tokens are there on the map. Let's use them for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put Defera where she is, hanging out in the palace. Okay. So yeah, if you're backstage, you're probably around there. And one more. Fantastic. Assume a large wooden stage right about where Leo is. And now, as you do, she'll look you right in the eye, and the rest of you will see that guard from before. Those of you who are more perceptible, say, a bit of your highest perhaps perception, will see him kind of dumping a form at the top of the stairs and rushing down as he hears Leo's declaration. And another stagehand will move past over to Ponos. As the magic casts down, and you detect the distinct form of a fiend where Seema stands. Oh, well, I'm terribly sorry, you scrumptious little thing. You just had to go ruin it for everybody. I was going to be a star forever. And she's going to strike out as we are going to begin some combat. Now, here's a question. Is she worthy of Last Cosmonaut?
I don't know that is, so...
I'm saying yes. As the main actress coming down from Parts Unknown enters the stage, she takes a hard shot with an extended claw as her form shifts to a grotesque, haggard, black-skinned, blacker than night itself, bulbous sores appearing on her skin, her teeth sharpening to points, her nose growing several times its length, her ears pointing like daggers into the night itself, her hair becoming a wild frenzy, though her clothing remained the same, though slightly torn, revealing portions of her body showing an absolute acute amount of muscle under her form as she slashes forward with a claw towards you, Leo. Revealer of things for a 26 to hit.
Oh.
That hits.
For 12 slashing as it cuts across your form, sending you back slightly. And this is where I need everybody to get me some initiative on the board, dang it.
rolled a good number.
Yeah. Let's go.
Get those nat 20s out now.
I know.
This
I
down here.
love the hag's description of this.
Well,
Hey,
it's-
have you
it's-
not heard the ballad of the Nightman?
You don't know that?
Oh, that's an
Actor
Always
of the
Sunny
Day,
reference.
man.
The night hag.
Ah.
Fighter of the day hag. Champion of the moon. Okay. Let me get some initiatives down. Though these are not tokens to be taken seriously.
God, the day the troll told.
You want to
Wanna
get
get
into
in that
that
little
bowl
boy's soul?
soul. Frank, it sounds like you're. Anyway, Thrynos, you're up first.
Thrynos will see how the fiend does with an intelligence save and will slap a mind whip their direction. In fact, going to double check something. I am going to heighten it so they have disadvantage.
Gasp. All right. What kind of save do you need to make?
Intelligence, please.
Intelligence, you say? Disadvantage. That's a 6.
That is a failure.
How dare.
So that is only 8 damage. However, let's play a virtual tabletop. Cannot take a reaction to the end of its next turn. On its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, action, or bonus action. Only gets one of the 3.
Gotcha. Okay. So, you whip out with the feather and it collides with her mind. And she lets out just like this wail that as she looks about the room confused and out as you're able to move back slightly out of her immediate reach before you can close in again as she is temporarily distracted. Is there anything else in your turn?
That's it. I'm good.
All right. Then she's going to do something.
But only
Not
one something.
Great. Yeah, only one something. She's going to point at Leo. Leo, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, wisdom saving. And I'm going to use my +2 I got from chat. 15.
That's almost good enough.
Oh no.
You feel your very soul itself being compressed as you all watch the armored form of Leo, as this hag extends her claw with the evil cackle, be compressed into a very finely armored snail.
No.
You get turned into a snail.
And since that is all she can do on her turn, Eliana, you're up.
Oh, goody. We're gonna do yeah, we're gonna do drugs. We're gonna go into a prophetic trance.
All right.
Ooh, that's good to know. I have a 1 and a 9 to work with. He who.
Okay. Is that your full turn, or do you have something else you can do? As you quickly take a moment, do some smelling salts, and prophesize the future of this battle.
Yeah, because that wasn't a spell, so I'm gonna cast Buddy Cop Weapon. We need some backup here.
It's a baton now.
Spiritual weapon. Oh,
Oh,
shit! It
Oh,
fucked.
snap! With a natural 20.
Okay.
I get smacked with
Absolutely.
a 9 force damage.
I'm gonna take that as a reaction to add another verse.
A fine addition to your collection.
Yes.
Well, as the ever increasing number of verses grow on Calliope's wings, Elion, is that your turn?
I'm gonna go and stand up by the snail.
Okay. You form up rank with the snail.
We will
Oh,
form a
boy.
It's a
phalanx.
shell.
My shield and your shield.
Leo, you
That's it.
don't remember Eliana being so tall.
Don't
In
look
fact,
up.
You don't remember yourself feeling so slimy and hungry.
Oh.
Like you just got out of the shower and you haven't eaten dinner yet, you know?
Mhm.
Anyway, no, it's not baleful polymorphs, it's a little different. Calliope.
All right, cool. Seeing that, our two other casters like going absolutely ham on this hag, she's just gonna go ahead and try to cast Bane. Any charisma save?
I suppose we could do a charisma save.
I hope you can.
A 12.
Ooh, so that failed. So it's going to be a minus a d4 in future attack rolls and saving throws. So she can try to save out of it after her turns.
Okay.
Until she does. And then as my bonus action, I'm going to look at the Ponos and say, you have better acting chops than that. Please show her. Take a Bardic Inspiration.
Has your Bardic Inspiration leveled up recently?
At least in terms of the number of verses, yes. So the minimum you can roll on it is a 2, not a 1.
Very useful to know. So, at the end of Calliope's turn, we are going to have the two soldiers. The one coming, the one soldier coming down the stairs is actually going to turn and head towards you, Calliope.
Oh.
Friendly face no longer.
Oh no! I knew he was sus.
Gasp.
God damn you,
and
generic profile picture.
You are going to see he reaches out to touch you as he gets to the bottom of the stairs and hits the back of your wing as you're distracted casting it. And you are going to feel 18 necrotic damage surge through your body as he hits you with some inflict wounds. You feel the very muscles within your back spasm and give out as if struck by a weapon that is not there. And he turns, You shall not disrupt the mistress's plans.
Watch me.
And the other will try to engage with you, Ponos, in a similar fashion, only this time with a dagger. So that's going to be a 6 on the first attack and a 19 on the second as he comes in swinging at you twice with the dagger. That stagehand that you haven't seen before, looking quite intent on taking you out. Oh, thank you. Bane is gone. 19, I'm going to assume hits for 6 piercing.
Oh.
As he's kind of backing you up and scrapes you hard across the chest, leaving a nice, nasty gash. But you were able to mostly give yourself some distance back. So you've been kind of dodging back as those around you clear the area. And you've worked yourself back into the ropes. That being the vertical ropes in Wake pulleys. Leo, you're a snail.
Snail.
How you doing?
Tired.
You are. Yeah. It's hard
Slow.
being a snail.
Yeah. I can't see any leaves nearby.
You're hungry, man.
Very.
What actions can a snail take besides the dash action?
Well, it can't activate, use, wield, or otherwise benefit any of its equipment, and I'd say for the moment, while you think of what a snail does, you're kind of just hanging out. You figure you should probably leave. There's a lot of sounds around here, and you start, well, there's this nice smooth surface here. You might be able to hitch a ride.
It's close by, I think.
It's real close by. Yeah, you can climb up, start going up Eliana's
Oh
leg.
god. Oh god.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
up your
the
sandals.
salt. Oh
She's gonna definitely kick me out.
Ponos.
So being kind of thrust back into these ropes. They kind of are they the flies that you would use?
Yeah,
to, like,
they're
hold them up
flyweights.
and down,
You
or
could
active
definitely.
things?
They're currently set so the weight is up, so someone can be lifted up right now. But some of them also are set low in case someone needs to be dropped. There's a number of options here. That's what I'm saying.
Sure. I'm going to look at this guy who's like advancing on me with this huge dagger, and I'm gonna go whoa, 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 whoa. One thing, and I'm gonna cast suggestion.
All right. Wisdom save from this fella will give me a 7 rather.
Oh, he needs a 10.
He's under your suggestion.
I'm gonna go whoa, 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 one thing, and then I'm just gonna like feel behind me, grab a rope, and be like, hold this.
That does not put him in direct lines of harm, and he'll grab the rope.
And then I'll just like flip the switch or pull out the
Yeah, you'll
stopper or
unhook the
whatever.
rope, and he'll just fly up. I'm gonna roll a number of d6.
God,
Okay.
that was truly
As you watch as he flies up and just collides at the top of this building, not clearing through, but definitely like hitting the top and landing on a catwalk, and you just hear a groan.
My work here is done, and I'll turn to leave.
You can walk right back out into this battlefield. Anything else on your turn? Top of the order with the Bane effectively gone. The Night Hag is going to take a bit of a, what we might call a villainous action. And she is going to throw a pulse of magical energy out wide. I need everybody to make me a wisdom saving throw who is out on the field right now, which I believe is everybody.
Yo.
Looking to beat an 8. Okay. With a natural 1 and a negative 1 and a 4.
oh my god.
Why are we so
is it
bad?
meet or beat?
You rolled the natural 1. I'm going to say you...
Are she trying to put me magically to
You
sleep?
can try to put you magically to sleep, which you can't.
Oh
can you?
no! I'm an elf.
Anyone who is not resistant to magical sleep and rolled below an 8, you are
Very
hitting,
cool.
eating the lady herself. Not in the official way, but only in a manner of dreams. So, Thranos, it is your go.
Okay. Quick question.
Yes.
Can I make a roll or something to see how much Thranos knows about the spell that was just cast on Leo?
Sure. Yeah, make me an arcane check.
Okay.
Arcana, rather.
Yep. 9. Is that enough for me to know that if he takes some damage, he comes back?
I will say, because of the prevalence of mythology and people being turned into animals, and your mother being quite good with the story and the myth herself, I will say that you are familiar enough with a polymorph spell, or an animal polymorph spell, to know you can probably just give him a kick and he'll come back.
Okay. So, this is going to be fun. I am going to quicken cast Magic Missile at first level. And I'm going to send one at the snail. I'm going to send one at Ponos. And I'm going to send one at Calliope.
I'm awake.
You're awake? I thought you were
Bonus
asleep.
is no, bonus, you're out. You rolled a -1.
I can't be put to sleep magically.
Oh my
'Cause I'm a
goodness.
fae.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right. The satyrs are part of the
All right,
Fae.
I didn't know that. So,
I'm a fae
No, you're still
creature.
catching.
He's no take back.
Cursed.
I had to think about it for a second. It was like, why am I being shot in the foot? Oh, I'm not asleep.
okay.
No -1. It's just natural for me.
So in that case, I'm not going to shoot Ponos.
Thanks.
But it should be fine. Everyone will be fine. I will. It's okay. It's just a magic missile. You'll be okay. And then
Are we sure?
the remaining, God, I hope so now. The remaining 2 will go toward the hag.
I just took like half my health and damage, by the way.
All right, roll some damage. Tell
All
me
right.
which ones are going to where.
There is. Oh wait, there's 3. So there's only one. The first one is going to hit the snail. 4 damage to a snail.
Okay, so you take 2 to the snail form and 2 to your true form.
Damn, snail's got some constitution.
2 to Calliope,
It's a Thylean snail.
and then 4 to the
Calliope,
hag.
you're up. 4 to the hag. Magic missile never miss. And Sema will recoil.
And then I will
magics.
I will follow up those flying feathers with one more that appears over the top of her head and tries to pierce her forehead with a mind sliver. So another intelligence save, please.
Okay. Even with advantage, that's an 8.
That fails, so 4 damage
Okay.
and minus 1d4 from the next saving throw.
Okay. It is her turn now. And what she's gonna do is twofold. So, assuming Leo and Eliana are now next to each other,
I think I'm holding her leg now that I'm back in human form.
Oh, God.
even better. I need
Great.
both of you to make dex saves.
Why?
You ask a lot of questions, and I know you don't want the answer.
14.
I wouldn't ask it if I didn't want the answer.
The hag begins pulling electricity from the air itself.
Is
And
bitch lightning bolting us?
Yeah.
smacks a bolt of lightning into the stage itself. So it's a 21, which will save. Do you have Shield Master?
Fucking wish.
Oh, wow. I'll roll this out in front of everybody. 26 damage if you failed, 13 if you passed. As both of you are just partially singed with a temporary bit of magical energy. As she will attempt to back up from you, both, as you're
Oh.
recoiling from it.
Is she now?
She's going to attempt to.
Neat.
Bonk.
Can you reach her?
Yeah, Polar Master. I can do it when she gets close and leaves. Hell
Ooh.
yeah.
As you go to strike, she becomes ethereal.
What?
I am pulling some bullshit.
Yeah,
What
that's
do you
some
mean?
that's some like triple decker bullshit.
As you go to strike, she seems to reach towards something on her various lockets that you now can see have like human fingers and thumb bones on it. very interesting stuff. But she just, and you see swiping through almost like a foggy haze of this figure. As she will move back into the stands with a almost gaseous form.
Oh, wait, what is it? Is a gaseous form of Ethereal?
It's whatever I want it to be. But she does become ethereal and have an extended bit of movement as she does. I wish I know it's not your rules, but it's my goddamn rules because it's cool shit. Eliana, you're up though. As she recorporealizes at the midway point of the stairs over here.
Get off my leg, Leo.
Yep. Sorry.
As I'm, yeah, I'll start going for her. I obviously have to. It's probably going to take an extra turn to get Buddy Cop weapon up here.
I'll say you could probably.
They only move 20 feet.
If you like wanted to like Thor hurl this in one go and attack with like a -5, I'd allow it to hit to make an attack.
Let's try it.
See, my bullshit provideth and my bullshit taketh away.
It seems to take away a whole awful lot.
Oh, hush you.
A 15 to hit.
A 15 to hit will just barely miss as it collides with the stairs as she just nimbly moves her lithe body out of the way.
All right. Then it's time to bring out the Guardians.
Not the Guardians. Galaxy.
I require a wisdom save. Oh no, she rolled a 9.
Wait a second. I didn't roll at all. Are you telling
no,
me?
the red thread said get fucked. So 9 plus whatever your wisdom plus is.
At Mount of Foresight, you know the exact moment at which you should launch this attack. And sorry, I'm just reading the chat. And you watch as the magical energy begins to floral through this creature. And even as she avoids back, you know where to exactly place this guardian. That it just rips through her form. And you watch as almost like a massive strength is ripped from her. And she pulls back and screams as 17 radiant damage is not nice at all.
Yeah, take that. And you'll see it might be more familiar to Leo, but it takes a vague shape of a Dragonlord of old.
I
vague.
would say, if I had to pick one person to make the first strike, I'd say it's Xander. Xander, you're the original leader of the Dragonlords, who would, of course, be the first that Leo would recognize.
Clearly, I will designate, pretty much everybody besides her and her boys as safe from the guardian.
I will make another wisdom save for that cult fanatic that is hanging around Calliope, which is a 10.
Are we close enough? Because it's 15 feet around me.
Okay, not quite yet then. Never mind. As soon as he enters, I'll use the roll I used because I rolled it anyway. Might as well. So, if that's your turn. Calliope, you're awake now.
Yeah. And that cultist is still right by me, right?
Oh yeah, he's standing right above you.
Yeah, cool. I am getting up, getting wherever I can to be eye level, and I am just going to deck him across the face and cast Bestow Curse as I do it.
Okay.
I need a wisdom save.
A wisdom save, you say? Well, how does a 13 do you?
That fails.
What if it succeeded instead?
Are you saying that as a rhetorical question?
No, I'm saying it purely rhetorically.
Okay. All right, cool. So the curse that I'm choosing is, while cursed, the target must make a wisdom saving throw at the start of each of its turns, and if it fails, it wastes its action doing nothing. So yeah, and then I already have one Bardic Inspiration active, so I think that's all I can do for now. Yes, that's all I can do.
All right. So it's the Cult Fanatics' turn, and I'll make that wisdom save right now. That's a 5, which I'm guessing fails your DC. So you watch as this Cult Fanatic sputters in place. The other at the top of the stage here will recover and Ponos, did you think you were getting away? As you will see a spectral sight swing down at you in an arcing motion, just spinning over and over. It's a 15 to hit. For 8 force damage as it guts through your body.
Sleepy time. Sleepy time.
You fall to the dirt as you see, all of you see, from the Deus Machina position, or a coral, depending on the play, kind of varies. Sometimes the coral is up there. Anyway, you see him directing this spectral sight, and he pulls it back out of the ground slightly, hovering over Ponus's fallen form, smiling madly, though definitely bleeding. Leo, you're up. You're awake. You're no longer a snail. There's a lot of things going your way.
Yeah. Real quick, what was the saving for the Hag's Lightning?
That would be oh gosh, what did you roll? 14? Yeah,
14.
You did not make it. Sorry.
Would a 16 make it? Because I have Shield Master.
A 16 would make it.
Awesome. And does it do half damage if it succeeds?
Yes, it would.
Hey, I can use my reaction to not take any damage. So
well, you're no fun. No, I'm very glad you can block it. As you're coming out of the snail shell, you instinctively go to hide yourself within your protected form. It's perfect.
Perfect.
Put it on a poster.
And then I tell Ileana to duck. And then I use my new Javelin of Lightning at the Hag.
Lightning?
Ooh.
Yeah.
What does that do? I ask, mostly knowing what a Javelin of Lightning does.
It is a magical weapon. When you hurl it and speak a command word, it transforms into a bolt of lightning, forming a line 5 feet wide that extends out from you to the target. Each creature in the line, excluding you and the target, must make a DC 13 Dexterity saving throw, or take a bunch of damage. Hopefully, that's no big deal. Yeah, the lightning bolt turns back into a javelin when it reaches the target.
I've got a 20 here for the Hag. So it's going to be half, right? So half of 19. That's still...
half of the 12.
Half of the 12. Okay, so it still takes a 7.
But Leo has to roll the hit.
Roll, yes.
Oh, did I not hit? Ooh.
Roll the
For
hit.
whatever reason, it rolled the damage. I didn't roll the hit.
Wah. Let me... Select roll. 46. Okay, yeah.
Can I ask you this, Leo? You're holding, you're throwing one of the weapons of the ancient Dragonlords. How do you feel right now? Like, this is like, holding a ball signed by Peyton Manning or whichever quarterback of legend that you would prefer.
Cool. Carmelone.
How you feel? Yeah.
No, like at first, I get out of my snail form, get hit with lightning, and I kind of am josing for something, and then I grab it, feel it, the energy in the javelin, and then I launch it. Ooh, 15.
Not quite going to hit for that 7 piercing, but it will still deliver the electrical payload somewhat as it collides with the stairs here, blasting apart the seats that our hag friend is around. And anything else in your turn? And she's not looking great after that lightning has like singed her side somewhat.
Actually, I leveled up recently.
You did.
I'm gonna rush up to it and then pull out my longsword and do my second attack.
Okay. Well, I guess if you need to attack a second time.
Oh, hold on, something just broke.
Uh-oh.
It says
Probably
no
nothing.
dice.
No dice.
Weird. Okay, there we go. Boom, 19 to hit.
19 will hit. Deliver your strike.
Boom. 10 damage. As
Okay.
I rush over with just this energy flowing with me.
And that's with the special Zephos.
Yes.
Fantastic. And that's one arm, right?
Yep.
One hand.
Mhm.
Just asking. And you set a solid slice that she barely manages to step aside from, getting a real solid cut into her side. Panos, you know what to do. Make me that death save. And honestly, wait, can you whisper it to me? Fantastic. I'd like to ramp up some tension here. And we're all going to sit here and wait for it. Next up is
Oh crap! It's next saving throw. Her dex save should have been at -1d4.
oh, here, let me do that now. I'm fine with doing some. Only a 1, so it brings it down to a 19. I don't think a 20 could be brought down to a
13.
13.
No.
So, high def. I will say, as Ponus is rolling this and giving me some very interesting information, /GM roll, I think. Threnos.
Thrynos is going to glance over to where Ponos is and yell out that Ponos is napping again. Can anyone help?
Gotcha.
All right, then I'm going to upcast a magic missile at the hag. So level 2 magic missile is 4 of them. So that is 2, 4, 2, and 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Force damage.
All right. Buffeting this hag with damage. Just as she stumbles back slightly, crawling her way back up the stairs. And she'll look at you. You think you're so precious, you and your dead friend? Why don't you be more like him? And she is going to...
At the start of her turn?
It is the start of her turn, yeah.
She's got to make a sweet wisdom save.
An 8.
Oh, that sucks. Take 16 radiant damage.
Shit. I
Spirit
don't.
Guardians. Spirit Guardians is hella good.
Yeah, I know. I like it a whole bunch. Don't appreciate that. Well,
Be like your.
Get fucked.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
Bobby.
Yeah, dang it, Bobby. She's gonna reach out in this last moment. Well, partially last moments. And I'm going to need a wisdom save from Threnos.
Oh, fine.
Oh,
we check
fine,
up real quick.
say.
Okay. Shield won't help here. What did he wisdom save? I'm gonna add a +2 that I got also. Give me a
12, you say.
Oh no, it's not +2, it's a reroll.
It's
You
a
check?
reroll to stop
Yes.
my bullshit.
Yes,
You say.
Looney
Yeah.
has a reroll. So I'm gonna go ahead and just reroll
Don't do worse.
and pretend that didn't happen. Except I'll roll an 8 instead of a 10
Oh my
I
god.
told you not to do worse.
and just blow 10k points of poor Looney Chaz. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry for your hard-earned points.
Hard imp.
You watch as the battlefield fades away. And instead of all your friends, instead of all your allies, you watch as Sidon appears once more in front of you. Towering, powerful storms surrounding him. And you are frightened. So, we'll get more to that on this end of your turn. Eliana, here we go.
Oh, she decided not to jet this time.
Well,
How
she's going to
good.
actually, now that you bring it up, will jet and become ethereal and
Oh my god.
Oh
Funny
no,
you should
she's
bring
near
that
me.
well, she's at the middle point of the stairs.
Okay.
Having to run across this fucking place. She's probably gonna be too far away this time.
Probably a bit too far for the spiritual weapon to hit her this go, but
Yeah.
you can get it halfway there and then hit her next turn.
But it's me that I need to get her with. Alright. We're gonna start moving our way. I'll be closer up with Calliope. Because now
You do
she'll
have a
be-
cultist right in front of you there.
Oh.
They
Yeah,
seem
well,
to be sputtering incoherently.
Oh, then he'll get fucked up by the Guardian because I'm probably too far away from Mother Dearest here.
Oh yeah. Wisdom
So-
save, yeah.
At the start of his turn.
I did specify he had a roll already of failure, so he'll take that 19 when it comes around.
Oh, that sucks.
Anything else to your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to clang my shield as I cast Toll the Dead at her. And
Wisdom
oh
save.
no, she rolled a 1.
Now hold on a second. That doesn't seem right because I didn't roll yet. But I suppose I have to listen to what you say because you.
On 2d12.
On
I
2d12,
3 necrotic damage.
3 damage. All right.
Oh,
well,
what
if you
the
insist.
Fuck.
Oof.
That is
Now,
some
now,
hot
now. Here's the
garbage.
thing, Tony. Would you like to make a deal?
No.
I'll let you re-roll for a
See,
re-roll.
I don't roll. I don't shake hands with the Fae.
I am anything but Fey. I am purely fiendish in nature.
How is that better?
Reroll for a reroll. Simple.
Do it, do it, do it, do it.
What do you mean a reroll?
I get to reroll something in this combat, and you can reroll it now.
Fine.
All right. Reroll those 2d12.
13.
13. That's feeling prodigious. And you watch as this sound, this Dolores bell sounds. Her form shakes, and she gets down to one knee. She is low and not feeling too hot right now. Anything else in your go? That was it, right? Any firstborns you want to tell me?
God, I will never have children. Nope, that's it.
Noted in the shipping chart. Calliope.
Okay, so bonus action healing word at 2nd level towards Ponos. Real fast. That's 8
Would
hit
you
points.
like to give me a reroll?
For what?
For a reroll.
No.
All right, fine.
3 points, it's fine. And then my action, I'm going to take a slash with my longsword towards this cultist.
Okay. With your
fast.
curse, does that threaten knocking him out of it?
I don't think it does. Let me look at the description again,
Sure
but
thing.
I really don't
Make
think
the
it
strike
does.
as you do if you could.
No, it's only a making the save or a remove curse.
Ooh, very nice.
It
Good
is.
to know.
All right. I don't
That's
think
a-
it's 10 hits.
It's 10 will not quite hit as you take a swing and just catch bits of his armor that he's wearing. And though you find
Yeah.
that his garment is a bit more costume than actual armor, it is still thick. So, here's the Cult Fanatic's turn. Wisdom save coming through, a 4 for our bubbling fanatic. The other one, though, is going...
And that's the one that just took 19 damage, right?
That is the one that just took 19 damage. Oh my goodness, he's gonna be hurting in the morning if he wakes up. The other is going to go ahead and direct that spiritual weapon towards Yume, Threnos, for a 12 to hit.
12 will not hit my armor class of 13.
Ooh, you dodge out of the way swiftly as the scythe comes whirling past. And as a full action, they are going to aim at Eliana. Make me a wisdom save, please.
Wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom, I know. How dare I? 13, you say?
Is this from the cultist?
Yes.
I'll add the +2 from PJ earlier.
You feel your muscles and body start to stiffen, but shake out of it at a last, as with this last burst of energy from your very soul itself, as you almost felt someone holding person on you.
Oh no.
So, that is now Leo's turn.
Awesome. Am I able to make it to the hag from where I'm at?
Not quite. You can get to where Eliana is unless you
Okay.
dash. Dashing, I will allow you to get right up in that hag face.
All right. Yeah.
Here, I'll
I'm
make
gonna-
the hag smaller.
Okay. Sweet.
I just really liked the drawing I found of the hag. That's like first edition night hag.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Vintage
cool.
hag.
It's where the wild things are, kind of shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I think I just want to be right in her face to make sure it doesn't do anything.
Sure
That's my
thing.
turn.
Okay. Panos, you're live. How you doing?
It's much better now.
What's the move? You got someone above waving their arms about as if casting spells. You got another guy dazed and confused, and you got this old hag lady absolutely being rude about things.
Well, that sounds like a absolute pain in the plums. He's gonna concentrate on the guy that's slinging spells because that's bad news bears, and gonna go back to my trusty pulley systems of ropes and sandbags and whatnot, and I'm gonna use my bonus action.
You want to make a clever
to
plan?
Use steady aim, and I'm gonna
Can-
sit there.
Can I say, if you use steady aim as bonus action and make an investigation check, you might be able to do something here.
I made an investigation check, regardless of the result, which was lucky 13.
when you say it's lucky 13, you find a series of ropes that are holding up the false platform the cultist is currently standing on. Moving the pins drops the cultist for another bit of d6 damage. I'm gonna say 2d6 this time. As he will collide with the floor, and you'll see that spectral scythe flickers for a moment but continues to hold. And you now have a cultist neatly placed in front of you.
Aha! I'm gonna look him in the face, put my horns down, put my head back, and do what rams do best.
All right, make me an improvised attack.
Headbutt this guy to the fuck.
A 10 won't quite do it as he rolls out of the way as you get close. You give a good charge and hit sand, getting probably, honestly, a nice flip in as you try to hit him on his ass while he's on his ass. Anything else in your go?
Nope, that's me. I'm good.
All right, Threnos, you're up.
How are the two cultists looking exactly?
Not great at all.
Okay.
Like a stiff breeze towards one of them might do it.
I am going to send a scorching ray toward that one.
The one on the ground or the one dazed?
The one that you said a stiff breeze would kill.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the one on the ground.
Yes.
A 17 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
For 11 damage.
That is exactly what you need to roll. God damn.
Right. The other two scorching rays will go toward the other cultist.
All right. If you insist.
Natural 1. And
Flies wild.
A 26.
A 26 will definitely hit.
For 6 fire damage.
That one collides, and this cultist, who seems mostly just stumbling at this point, will just have his arm completely singed by your fire. And continue to stand there dumbfounded as the other one rolls and tries to pat himself out, but collapses from the collective pain. Which brings us to the Night Hag.
Yeah, wisdom set.
Wisdom. Well, you can't tell me what to roll now, so I only rolled an 8.
Oh, that sucks. So you take 19 radiant damage.
Jeez.
Dude,
Or you can re-roll now.
Spirit? Yeah, Spirit.
I can
re-roll
re-roll now.
We made a deal.
We made a deal. Excellent. Oh, I rolled a 12.
Not good enough, sweaty. Sorry.
I made a bad deal.
Works for me.
19. Jeez Louise, 19 damage. Okay. You watch as these ancient Dragonlords of old, the images, as if put on are these like, red-black images on the side of pottery kind of look? Or are these like kind of sculptures?
They'd almost probably more sculpture. Like I said, they're smoky and vague. It'd be like hard to tell who they would have been. But from tales of old, who they were. If anyone would be able to try to discern anybody, Theo would be the best.
Certainly. Let's say Adonis Nordragon. In Leo, you are quite certain. Dang it, you would recognize that dragon and rider anywhere. Swoops in, and just as this final collision of energy, the hag falls to the ground, tumbling down the stairs.
Just like old times.
And with the dust clearing, you can quickly either arrest or handle that cultist as you wish.
Oh, they might actually kill him. The Guardians.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, up to you.
Oh wait, is that the one chilling by Ponos in the
No,
theater?
the one chilling by Ponos is on fire and dead.
Oh, that sucks.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so no, yeah, these guys are Spirit Guardians. Do not give a fuck. They're gonna.
All right.
Well,
As both the enemies are whisked away from life itself and sent to their dear mistress.
These freaks wanted to meet the gods so bad.
The
Yes.
Tassus stands and reminds, What? Explain yourselves in this instant.
No.
You kill my leading lady. My other one is gone for the evening. I don't know if she'll show up at all. I mean, I suppose I can be Estoria this time, but, you know. The believability of a man playing a woman, I mean...
It's
Don't
not
you remember?
unheard of.
We had a deal. And we owe you a leading lady. And she just defeated.
And you'll see as his eyes, Eliana, you're unaware of this deal, but he'll settle his eyes on you, and you get a sneaking suspicion of what this deal might be.
Oh, I already told him. Like when he said, "Tell me, explain yourself," I just said, "No."
This is... Oh, my goodness, my muse is going to be quite irate.
It's fine. The Theria's revolting anyway, so no need to continue praising her for whatever reason.
But who else could do the art she does? You understand?
That she's a wreck, I sure understand that. She had this thing as I motioned to the dead night hag.
That creature could act at the very least. And yes, it is not the first unnatural, perhaps to us settlers, to have worked in my group. I have many satyrs in my employ. I have a nymph, even. An Oread. Aria, wherever she is of this land more than any of you. Well, sorry, perhaps some of you. But that is still not the point.
Well, as they say, the curtains have fallen for this actor. I'm pretty sure he can find someone else. And then he puts his sunglasses on and walks away.
Yeah!
Damn.
All right. So for purposes of absolute epic walkaways, I think that is where we're going to call it for the evening.
Oh, I'm definitely going back to the party. I'm going to go back home, change again, and then go back to the party. I made it a promise to myself as a character I was going to enjoy the evening. And not only did I just kick fucking Lutheria's little helper in the mouth, I also get to go to a party.
Hell fucking
So-
yeah. So,
Double dip.
first off, grabbing the body of a night hag, you discover among her strange possessions a small glowing green orb. And you feel a sense of healing coming from it. You also find a strange bloody bag, but that seems to hold no purpose other than spilling forth more putrid pieces of body parts. But returning to the party, as the sun teases itself on the eastern horizon, you can return to even more fanfare. But that is something we'll cover next time. For this journey shall continue on without obstruction towards your final labor. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this latest and greatest episode of Oathsworn. Oats, warm, whatever you want to call it, as long as you show up and love it just as much as I do. In Odyssey, the Dragonlords campaign, I have had the distinct honor and pleasure of being your DM for the evening. But before we get into all that stuff from me, let my wonderful group of storytellers here talk to you about all the wonderful things they're doing. If you all wouldn't mind starting with Comrade, the first among our fire bearers here, working on some titles, we'll see what sticks. If you would please tell the people who you are, who you played tonight, and where they can find more of your exceptional work. Please.
Of course. Comrade Crash on Twitter. I played Leo Dracos, the human paladin. You can find me next week back here for the Critical Hot Ones one shot, where we eat a bunch of hot sauce and burn our mouths. It's gonna be very, very fun. And I think then that's it. On to Sir Heck.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's me, Sir Heckalot. Tonight I played Calliope, the Siren College of Epic Poetry bard who walks the path of the Dragon Slayer. You can catch me, or you can find me on all the social medias at Sir Heckalot. TikTok, Itch, Instagram, all the places. In terms of the TTRPG space, it's a very busy stream week for me. So you can find me over at Lost Caravan RPG tomorrow for some more Locusts. Things got so trippy last episode. Some big reveals were had, so definitely tune into this episode if you can. On Thursday, I have a double stream day for my podcast Dungeons of Discussions, co-hosted with Tyne's Dungeon on my own channel. Then I am back-to-backing that with Queen's Gambit, our Tyranny of Dragons campaign, right here. On Friday, you can see me on Cold Hands, Warm Hearts. Don't find me on Saturday. I'm taking a break on Saturday. Then on Sunday, you can catch me on Neon Lights roleplay for the Violet Sea, as well as right back here for our next Coven game. We're playing Basic Witches, and it's going to be just fantastic. I'm super excited. But that is about it. Let's move on over to HB.
You're muted.
We can't hear you. Uh-oh.
Ahem.
There it is.
I have a mute button upon my microphone that sometimes is pressed. I am the Last Hit Point Hero, and you can find me on Twitter. Find me for TTRPGs here at TPK Roleplay. I am doing an off-stream, Never Going Home, occultish World War I game tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that and what may come from it. Turk is going to be in that one. But you can't watch it, so, I mean, it's just a thing. But that may lead to something else, which is why it gets mentioned here. On Friday is Cold Hands, Warm Heart, where we're going to dive straight into a boss fight. Yay! Critical Hot Ones, I am also taking part in, and so I will be sucking down the hot sauce from the red bottles all night long, and am looking forward to it immensely. And that is the plan for now. Kicking it on over to Tony.
Hello. So this was an interesting evening. For me, the next thing I'm on is Dark Echoes this Saturday. We return for that, back from a short vacational break. And then back here on the 3rd of May. And then my next episode of Emerald Expeditions, I believe, is the 16th or the 23rd of May. Just go check the schedule, because I don't remember from me even looking yesterday. Because, haha, who does that? That was me, up to the biffiest of owls.
That's me. Shit, yeah. Hello, folks. I was Alaviva playing Ponos, the Satyr Rogue, who walks the path of the Cursed One, which was great because our little tweak behind the DM screen of my dice rolling, I only got to roll one death saving throw. But it was the good one, the number one. As if it couldn't have landed any more perfectly. I was like, oh, well, that just happened. It was fine. Everything's fine.
For verse reasons, if you want to record that roll, you can.
Good fun. So there you go. Yeah, you'll catch me if you can. I'll see you later.
All right. Well, hey everybody, I'm Turk or Turk Extended. I once again have had the distinct honor of being your DM for the evening. Oh gosh, how am I going to stretch this out till all the way to the end of this song? My goodness. But we'll try anyway. If you want to see more of me and the things I do, well, to see me, of course, you'll have to wait until Dark Echoes. But if you're a big fan of all things TDK, then you already know I'm going to be hanging out with HP tomorrow night and doing some Never Going Home. So definitely come check out our Discord, as there's a bunch of cool stuff going on over there. But beyond that, every Sunday, except for this last Sunday, because, you know, birthdays and holidays, and certainly not anything to do with me being born and, you know, other things occurring.
Happy belated birthday, Turk.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
You can find me on Lost Caravan RPG doing some Lancer, being the just most goblinist. I don't think that's a word. The most sex pest goblin ever. It's not really that bad. I say it like it's a bad thing. He just flirts with everything that moves, and it's good. And I also cause things to overheat, which also works with the flirting. Anyway, it's fun, I swear. If you want to see a bunch of people not deal with trauma by making a bunch of passes at each other, join us for Corruption from Within. And then you can find me on Monday over on Neon Lights Roleplay, where I'll be playing even more Lancer. Lancer blowing up right now. As I will be your handler for Frozen Rain, a campaign lightly, basically completely pulled from Sleeping Above a Frozen Crown, a Lancer campaign series. So it's got a bunch of excellent people there. Please check that out. It should be a whole bunch of fun. And then, of course, on the 3rd, will be our return here to Thylea as our heroes venture to their final labor, the necropolis at Telemach, where secrets lie for a number of our party. But that's entirely too much from us tonight. The book needs to be closed. And remember that despite the darkest of outlooks, light always shines through. Savrakuinia, and that even the gods are bound by oaths and prophecies. Thank you all so much for joining us. Everyone here makes this incredibly special for me. I cannot be more grateful for you all. Good night. HP, please take us out.